Lights. Lights. Hello, everybody. Excuse me. Hello. How we doing? Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? I think it's good. My glasses are still fogging up. I just came back from a walk. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Rob. Thanks for stopping in. If you're new here, nice to meet you. Welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So, what's going on? What's going on today? How's everybody doing? Where's everybody watching from? Man, there's a lot of cat hair in here. Where's everybody watching from? And let me know how your day's going. So it's starting to warm up here. It's like 7 degrees outside. So what is that? Let's ask ChatGPT. What is 7 degrees C in F? So for those who are in the States, it is 45 degrees Fahrenheit today. So nice. The snow is melting. Yeah, I'm ready for spring. I don't know about you guys. Well, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, then it's probably really nice weather right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out of the winter and having spring show up. So yeah, let's... what are we going to do? Yeah, I was a little bit late starting this, so I changed the countdown to 2 minutes. I don't know if anybody noticed that instead of 5, because it was 1 minute to 2. I'm not going to make you wait 5 minutes, so I changed that. First thing I want to mention, as some of you people know already, you can now join this channel if you want to sign up and be a member. And basically what happens is you get a special badge by your name. Your name gets highlighted when you enter something in the chat. And also you get to go to a monthly, at least monthly, it might be every couple of weeks, but I'm going to have special live streams. I'm going to come up with a name for them, but yeah, for members only. Just so that, you know, like now we've been getting, I think last week we had well over 100 people in here, which was awesome. But it does make it a little bit harder for me to answer everybody's question when there's that many people. Good problem to have, but now is probably the time to also open it up and have like a members type of live stream every so often, and then yeah, it'll just be a much smaller group, and I'll be able to answer your questions. So if anybody's interested in that, I believe there's a join button down below somewhere. So that's that. The next thing is free tools. Again, if you're new here, you may not know this. If you're returning, then just bear with me. You've heard this before. But if anybody wants a YouTube stats tracker, the one that I use, you can download it. I've got a link to it down below. It's free. And then I also have a YouTube success checklist you can download that kind of walks you through all the steps I go through when I make my inside videos. What else? Creators Cove is also a free community for over 40. I mean, that's a loose, you don't have to be over 40, but most of us are. Over 40 group of newbie YouTubers to kind of get together and help each other out and ask questions, and just a nice supportive group. And I notice we're up over 400 people in there now, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's also free to join. Link down below. What else? One other thing I wanted to mention, and this is just kind of a last minute thing. So I finally got caught up on my channel reviews. All right. I fell behind on those. They were quite popular. So what I'm going to do now is I have, and did I write that down? I'll have to find out what it is. Anyways, if anybody is interested in a channel review, I can offer them now again. If you click on the link below that talks about those and my courses, you'll notice the price is higher than it was, but I created a coupon code, which if I had my crap together, I would have been able to put it on the screen somewhere. But anyways, I'll type it in here. I'll type it in the live stream. It's DISC15. I'm going to send an email out actually after this live stream to let people know as well. It's just going to be for the rest of this month, so basically to the end of the week. So if I go, what am I doing here? Here we go. So coupon code for channel reviews and courses. It works for all of that. Enter DISC15. There you go. So that's there, and maybe I should pin that. Should I do that? Let's just pin that. Okay, I think that worked. All right. Okay, so all that stuff's out of the way. So what else do I want to do today? I want to show you how I edit a video. I'm going to show you how to edit a relatively simple video, the video I put out yesterday. I'm going to walk you through that, how to do that, and you can kind of see exactly what I do. I'm going to be using Camtasia, but you can use anything to pretty much do what I did. So I'm going to do that. But first, let me jump into the chat to see who's here. I just want to see if there's any questions right off the top. I can answer a few questions now, and then I'll get into that video editing demonstration. But also, I wanted to review what we actually no. Why don't we? I'm trying to do 3 things in my head all at once. I've just got to narrow it down. So let's go to the chat. Then I'm going to review some of the videos that I put out this week. Then we'll get into the editing of the video. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to see if I can see any questions. Lee, hello Lee, how you doing? I haven't forgotten about you. I meant to send you an email today. Actually nobody else would know, but Lee is going to be a moderator in here. So thank you, Lee. I will still have to set you up. So I guess we'll start that next week. Yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you, Lee. That's going to help me, if there's any trolls that show up in the chat and start, spamming or whatever, Lee will be able to delete them or block them. So that'll be a big help. Anaholic says, how many cues is enough? So yeah, if you could put 3 cues, I will search for 3 cues in the chat here, and that'll enable me to quickly find any questions that you guys have. If the chat gets too crazy, that is. So yeah, that's a good idea. And one of you guys let me know about that search feature last week, so thank you for that. That's awesome. I use Ecamm Live, by the way, for those who don't know. To live stream, I use Ecamm Live. It runs on a Mac, and I love it. It's great. So we've got, Dan says it'll be 87 today in Scottsdale. So that's Fahrenheit again, so that's quite warm. That's pretty much as hot as it gets here in Nova Scotia in the summer. So yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. I would probably burn though. Hello, good day, the Drakes, Dove by Design, Robert's Active Retirement. Who else we got here? Real Talk. Oh, hello, Norma. How you doing? Good to see you here. Multi-Electrical Services, watching in the UK. I'm trying my hardest to create and improve my YouTube channel. Steve. Awesome. Good luck with that. There's lots to learn. Just baby steps, one thing at a time. Yes, you can hear me. Awesome, Manaholics. Thank you. That's good. And everybody can hear me. Good afternoon, Mountain Finance. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, typical February day from upstate New York. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so it's actually a little warmer than typical here in Nova Scotia. It's not usually this warm. Although we do get days like this. So it's nice because it's been really cold. It's been really cold here for what seems like forever. And the trail is still frozen. Well, kind of slushy frozen now, but still I can't run on that. I'll break my ankle or back or something. So I'm anxiously awaiting everything to melt. All right, we've got Boise, Idaho, Sweden, Virginia, 66 degrees here. I'm not sure where that was, but that's a nice temperature. Jenny from Sweden, hello. Mart from Netherlands, hello, how are you? The Tiandra, how are you doing? From Maryland, very good. Watching from home in Brabant, Oorschot, Brabant, very good. North Carolina, Alan James, how you doing? Good to see you. Rosanny is here. We got Paul from Oxford. Awesome, all over the place. And just like that, we're up to 95 people in here again. This is awesome. This has grown quite nicely. And a little bit of I never did. I know some people sometimes throw these, little parties or whatever for reaching milestones or whatever. But yesterday we reached 40,000 subscribers here today. Yesterday here on this channel. So that was exciting. Not really a party though, but It's cool. We were at 20,000, I think, in August when I launched Creators Cove. So it's doubled since then. So that's pretty cool. So thank you. So yeah, what does that mean? That means there's a whole lot of new people here, and that's why the live streams keep growing. So wanted to mention, kind of getting into the videos that I did. So I released 3 videos in this past week. So I'll just so the last one yesterday, which is the one I'm going to go over with you in the editing, was a fairly quick one. Struggling with YouTube, you're making the wrong content. Okay, that was yesterday's. And I banged that out pretty quick. Fridays, why friends and family will never support your YouTube channel. So that was a bit of a harsh title, I guess. But I think that's my third crack at trying to explain why it's not a great idea to try to ask people to subscribe to your channel, whether it's friends and family, or sometimes people do it ask sub for sub, stuff like that. And I've been dealing with a lot of that in my comment section. And whenever I see that, I just delete. I delete those right off the bat because I don't want that in the comments, A, and B, it doesn't work. And people who ask for that, they're not doing themselves any favors, and they're not doing the other people any favors who might actually reciprocate. So it's not a good idea to do that. So that video is my kind of third attempt at kind of discussing that. So maybe that point is driven home, and I don't have to talk about that for a little while, unless you guys want me to. And then last Wednesday, so the day after my last live stream, starting YouTube when you hate the way you look. And that video, a lot of people have watched that video. That video, I think, struck a nerve. Yeah, it's a problem. And I don't think it's just for people over 40. Yes, us who are over 40, we're on the other side of the hump. Well, maybe 40 is a bit early, but 50, 60, you're on the other side. Typically, you don't get any fitter, stuff starts falling apart. I don't know how to say that, right? But I think we could all kind of agree that for the most part, we all are kind of at our peak and look our best in our, 20s, 30s, something like that. So after that, we look in the mirror and maybe we don't like what we see as much. And then we make a video of ourselves and then we really don't like that. It's like, wow, I look like that. I don't like that. So that's us, older crowd. But then even like the younger generations, I kind of feel for too, because I think they have it worse than we ever did because of social media. And I've made videos on that too. And it's just, I don't know, there's just so much pressure. I think girls in particular, there's just a lot of pressure out there to look a certain way. And, so as soon as you make a video of yourself and you put it up on the internet, and then you look at it and, for whatever reason that you don't like the way you look. Most people don't like the way they look. So anybody who wants to do, I feel like I got an eyelash or a stray hair. It's not one of my hairs, but that was a squirrel. What was I saying? So so confidence is a big deal, and getting over that. And for those who want to get into YouTube, knowing that, or if you accept the fact, I'm going to say it's a fact, that channels will grow faster if you make videos like this with you in the frame talking to a camera where people can, identify with you better, connect with you better. You seem more real than a faceless channel where maybe you hear someone's voice or maybe you don't even hear someone's voice. It's an AI voice. Like those types of videos are so hard to grow. You got to have something real special going on to grow a channel like that, I feel, whether it's entertainment value or, a topic that no one's ever covered before. Because the reality is, if you want to make a video on YouTube, forget the fact about trying to find a topic that's not been talked about, because everything's been talked about before. But what makes your potential video unique is the fact that you're going to talk about it. You're going to look at the camera. So that's a positive. That's a help. If you kind of throw that away by just making faceless videos, you lose that advantage. So anyways, all that said, and you guys have heard me say that before, that all means that you have to kind of get used to looking at yourself, in videos. So practice looking at a camera, make a video, watch it back. You're going to hate it, but just realize that, that's what you look like and that's what everybody else sees, and everybody is beautiful in their own way. We're not all supermodels and, whatever, right? So it is what it is, and accept who you are and love who you are and make videos. And if you can do that confidently, and that'll show through in the videos, and people will connect with you even more if you project that confidence. So I don't know why I went down that tangent, because I've made videos on that stuff before, but yeah, it was that video I put out last Wednesday, starting YouTube when you hate the way you look. And I just gave some tips as to what could make that easier. So that's the review. Coming up, so the videos that I'm working on now, I don't have one ready for tomorrow yet, but I do plan on putting one out tomorrow. I have 3 that I'm working on. One is how I lost over 4,800 subscribers. Okay, is that a little attention grabbing? And why it doesn't matter. I don't know if that's what the title's going to be. Something like that. That's my preliminary title. I still have to have my chat with ChatGPT, and we'll nail it down what we think will work the best. So I'm basically going to show you how you can go into your YouTube analytics and look up how many subscribers you've lost over time. Okay, so subscribers doesn't just go up, right? Every time, like if I gained 100 subscribers last week, I may have actually gained 120, but lost 20. So the net is 100. Okay, so you see the net, the difference. So I'm going to show you how to do that. That's going to be a quick video. I'm going to make a video on explaining monetization. I think the first one, losing 4,800 subscribers, that'll be tomorrow, because that won't take me that long to make. Explaining monetization might take a little longer. That'll be Friday or Monday. I'm not sure yet. And then the last one, YouTube success journey, the 4 stages. So I'm having trouble with the title of that one. But basically, I'm going to walk you through what are the 4 stages of YouTube success from a friend's perspective. And I talked a little bit about that in a recent video. I forget what it was called. The one, why friends and family will never support your YouTube channel. There was that one. And then one before that, why you shouldn't tell people about your YouTube channel. So kind of along those same lines. From a friend's perspective, what does YouTube success look like? What are the 4 stages? So I'm going to walk you through, like, stage 1 is, what the heck are you doing? You can't make money doing that. Why are you wasting your time? All the way up to the last stage where, you're making tons of money and people are now coming to you for advice. I want to start my own YouTube channel now. Can you help me? So anyways, I'm going to make a video on that. So that's what's going on. So if you have any questions about any of that, any comments, let me know. Why don't I just jump back into the chat for a little bit to see if anybody else has said. Actually, I'm going to zip right to the end just to see if there were any. Definitely a good attention grabbing title, The Drakes. Thank you. That might sound a little, and I even mentioned that, it might sound a little underhanded, clickbaity, something like that. But the reality is, if you want to grow a YouTube channel, you kind of have to play that game a little bit. Now, if you make a clickbaity title just to get the click, and then when people get in there and start watching your video, if your video had either nothing to do with the title and thumbnail that they clicked on, or if the video just isn't good and you're not, hooking the people in early, you're not being able to retain people to watch the video, right? Then it doesn't matter how clickbaity your title is. Your video's not going to succeed. So all those things have to be good. Obviously, you have to get the click. So title, thumbnail. But then as soon as they get into the video, you have to start fulfilling that promise you made with that thumbnail and title, right? That's the job of the video. And you got to start making that promise in the first, 10, 15 seconds. What I've been doing lately, as you may have noticed, I didn't do it for yesterday's, but I've been starting to put a coming up section at the beginning where I kind of go deeper into the video after I've edited it, and I find some things that I said that might be very interesting and maybe a bit of a cliffhanger. You might want to, what's the answer to that? What's he going to say next? I'll copy that and I'll throw it at the beginning of the video in the coming up section just to trying to generate interest, right? Hoping to hook the people in. So if after that first 10 or 15 seconds, they're like, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to want to watch the rest of this because I want to know what he was talking about there in that coming up part. So yeah, that's one strategy that I've been kind of experimenting with, and I kind of like the results so far. So give that a shot if you want. I think it's a good way to do it. So, and failing that, another way would just be to tighten everything up at the beginning. Like, know what you want to say right off the bat. It's a good idea to even say what your title is or something similar in the first sentence or two that you say when your video starts. And then if you say and ah, and then if there's any pauses, cut those all out for the first, say, 10, 15 seconds. And so that message is delivered as quickly as you can. And then boom, you're getting right into the video. So anyway, that's enough about that. Let me just get back into the chat here, see if there's any questions before I get into the video editing and show you how I edited yesterday's video. We've got Connie from upstate New York. Hello, Connie. Calming and soothing. Hi, Rob from Alabama. Oh, I thought you were Rob. No, I'm Rob from Alabama. I've been consuming videos, buying lots of gear, and have not posted yet. I guess I'm just stuck. That's typical. I did that too, and I was stuck for quite a while. So yeah, you just got to make a video. Just got to post it. Don't try to be perfect. What's the term? Done is better than perfect. Just get something up there, and you're gonna hate it. And just remember, your first several videos are not going to be what's going to grow your channel anyways. Your channel is going to start off very slow. So your first might be 20 videos or more. Really aren't going to move the needle that much on your channel growth. So think of those videos as being practice for you. That's what they are. They're just practice for you to get better at making videos. So make a video, upload it, watch it back, take a look at your hook. Did you hook them in quick enough? Look at your analytics. Are people dropping off quick or are they staying for a long time? And just generally see what you could have done better in your video. Try to find things you could have done better, and then try to do better on your next video. Just try to do one thing, learn at least one thing with every video, and try to improve on that in the next video. And do that for 20 videos, and before you know it, you're going to be a pro. So yeah, there you go. I'm up to the beginning. Coupon code. We've got Mike from Arizona. Coleslaw. I noticed I did not get a notification for your live stream. Really? I wonder if I did something in the setup wrong. I don't think so. See, when I set up a live stream, I didn't set it up until, I'm going to say 3 or 4 hours ago. But I use the same settings every week. So it should have notified people who want to be notified. Okay, so that's important. Just because you subscribe to my channel doesn't mean you're going to get notified every time I come out with something or have a live stream coming up. That's why when you hear people say, if you want to see more of my content, click subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified, right? That's the next step. So you can be subscribed, but not necessarily get the notifications. And then on your devices too, you can enable notifications or turn them off. So, all those things have to say, yeah, I want notifications before you're going to get notifications. But if you got them before and you didn't this time, I'm curious. I'm not sure why that would be. The other thing is, once I set up the live stream several hours before, like this morning, then a thumbnail is created and you can go to my channel and you can see upcoming, and there's going to be a little countdown there, like 4 hours, and it's counting down. There would be a notify me button as well. And even if you're not subscribed, you can click on that and you'll be notified when I go live. So yeah, those are all the ways. Some people send out emails as well when they're going to go live, just to ensure they get as many people as possible. I haven't done that. I got a bit of a problem with email in that I hate getting spam. I hate it, and I delete a lot of it. So because of that, I don't want to be known as somebody who spams or sends too much email. So I'm very conservative when it comes to how many emails I send out. I try to only send them out when there's something that, you know, if I'm like today, I'm going to put the course and the channel reviews on sale basically for the next 3 days, 15% off. I'm going to let everybody know that. Everybody who doesn't have a channel review yet, that is. So that's what's nice about Kajabi. I can filter out and send an email, but you know, if somebody's already got this, then I don't want to bother them with this email, so it'll only go to people who don't have it, right? And yeah, so I do it for that, or when I come up with another course, which I am working on, a course getting started with video editing. Hoping within the next 2 weeks that'll be ready, and it's going to be priced on the cheaper end. I've decided all my courses are going to be on the cheaper end now. So probably $27, something like that, or less when I first come out with it. But yeah, I'm going down a tangent I wasn't going to go down, so we don't have to talk about that right now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's see. All right, any questions? Here we go. Question from Conchita Legendre. Can I upload videos while I'm trying to finish my channel banner, etc.? Yes, you can. So what I do is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 tabs open in my Google Chrome right now. I often have more than that, but I usually have at least 2 tabs of my YouTube Studio open. And I often have one on this monitor when I'm not live streaming, just so I can see like the hour by hour, the little graph. I don't know what I like graphs. So I like to look at that every once in a while so I can see how things are going. But let's say I'm uploading a video. I'll have 2 YouTube Studio tabs open. One of them is where I'm going to upload the video. And then the other one you can kind of use to do whatever. Check out your analytics, you know, upload a channel banner. You know, you can do all that on another tab. In fact, while you're uploading a video, you can probably navigate away from that and upload a channel banner right there. What I know you can't do though is when you're uploading a video, you can't click the refresh, like to refresh that tab in Google Chrome or probably whatever browser you're using, because it'll say, "Oh, you want me to reload this site?" I think that will kill the upload. So I usually just let that tab go. You know, it's doing its thing, and then I go over to another tab if I want to do something else in YouTube Studio. But usually what I do, the channel banner is something that, you know, you set that once and then you may not change it for months, right? There's only one channel banner for your channel. It's at the top. Maybe you're referring to the thumbnail, because that's what I do. Every video has a thumbnail, or, I mean, you don't have to. YouTube will pick one for you. Like they'll grab a screenshot of your video and use that as a thumbnail if you don't upload your own custom one. But I highly recommend that you upload a custom one every time. They're super easy to make with Canva, and I've made a video on how to do that. I think I've got 2 videos actually on how to do that. And then what I do is I will start my video uploading once I've rendered it, right? I'll start the upload, and then it'll usually say, you know, maybe an hour. Might take an hour to upload. Or maybe if it's a shorter video, I think yesterday's, what was it, 12 minutes or something? That might have been half an hour to upload that. I don't have a great upload speed here. I think it's 15 megabits per second. So, I mean, that's pretty good, but it's not high speed. Like, it's not fiber speed. So, yeah, so while that is uploading, while my video is uploading, I then move over to Canva and I make my thumbnail. Okay, so, and the way I typically do that is I'll play the video, even though it's uploading to YouTube, I can still double click it on my Mac and start playing it. I think it plays in QuickTime or something. And then I'll start scrubbing through it, and I'll look for a spot that I like my facial expression based on what text I want to put on the thumbnail. I'll probably have that figured out, or mostly figured out. And then I'll take a screenshot of my video. I'll put that into Canva, I throw some text on it. You know, I might make 2 or 3 copies of it if I want to do that A/B testing of thumbnails. And then I'll download the thumbnails. I'll create a thumbnail folder in my project folder. I'll put them in there, and then I will basically upload them on the editing page to the video. Meanwhile, my video is probably still uploading, but the thumbnails are done and uploaded. Then I'll move on to the description, the tags, and then just finish all the screens that you have to go through when you're uploading a video. And I usually get through all of those before the video is finished uploading. I lean heavily on ChatGPT for the description and the tags. For the top part of the description, I don't know if you noticed, but in my description, I have pretty much a template. Like, most of my description is the same in all my videos, and I've set that up as the default. And then because it's got my links for the courses and the free stuff you can download, and links if you like, affiliate links if you want to, buy the camera that I use or whatever. All that is in my default. And then all I do is I say ChatGPT after we've been talking about the video and it's helped me with a title. I'll then say, can you write me a 2-sentence description for this video? And boom, there it is. And I usually just copy paste, done. And then I'll say, can you list me some tags that I can copy and paste for the video as well? And it'll do that. Sometimes I change them a little bit here and there, but it's not. See, I don't even know how important those are anymore. I don't think they are that important, tags and description, especially once a channel has some traction and is growing on its own. My audience is kind of established. YouTube has a pretty good idea as to who wants to watch my videos. So I don't think those are that important, especially given the fact that YouTube now transcribes my video when it uploads it and can pretty much figure out what it's about on its own anyways with their AI and algorithm and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know how much longer the tags and descriptions section are going to be required, or tags in particular. Description will always be there because that's where you put your links. Yeah, anyways, I think I'm rambling now, but I hope that answered your question, Conchita. It's 50 in Connecticut. Very good. That's not a nice day. Nice February day. Abby London, new sub watching from Dallas, Texas. Going to be 74 degrees here today. We were coming off Arctic air a few days back. Well, 74, that would be real nice. That would be real nice. All right, looking for questions now. We've got, where have we got? Michigan, we've got Wisconsin, Scotland. Hello, Scotland. Shelley from Michigan. Hello. Robert from Germany. Scrolling, looking for questions. Oh, here's a question. Only one Q, but I'll answer it. How do thumbnails work in YouTube? Do you have a video on it? Yes, I do. I do have a video on it. And why don't I just because I can. No, let's go I will share my screen. And yeah, just so you guys know, so here's my screen. I usually like to drag this over. So there's the channel banner that somebody asked about, and here are all the thumbnails. Okay, every video has its own thumbnail. I usually go to the videos tab, and then you can see them in order. Now, if I tell you there's a video in there on thumbnail design, and there are 275 videos here. So instead of scrolling all the way through and looking for them, just click this little search thing here and type thumbnail. Enter. Boom. There are the 2 videos I made on thumbnails. 5-minute thumbnails. I made that 4 months ago, and then thumbnails that pop. I made that 3 weeks ago. So yeah, and I can't remember what the difference was. They both used Canva. I think, okay, yeah, the second one, the thumbnails that pop, that's where I kind of went over how to brighten your face. Like remove the background from you, but keep the background, like in another copy, but on the copy that just has your face, you can brighten your face, right? Without affecting the background. I do that with all my thumbnails. This first one here, I wasn't doing that then 4 months ago, but it still goes over how I make my thumbnails. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, hopefully that helps too. Anybody who wants to know how to find another one I get a lot is how to decide on a niche. Like, I don't know what to make. I want a YouTube channel of my own, but I don't know what niche I should pick. What should I make videos on? I made a video about that. So, and this is what I do. If I answer somebody like that in the comments of my videos, I'll come to this page. I'm going to type in niche, enter, and there it is. 6 months ago, top YouTube niches for explosive growth. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a clickbaity title, but on the thumbnail says find your niche. So then I'll go here, I'll copy the URL, paste it in my response. So anyways, that's how you find videos. If you have a pretty good idea that I've made a video on something, you can search my channel only for that something. Like, I don't know, like talking about camera shyness. I might just put in camera, see what comes up with that. How to beat camera anxiety, boost your confidence on camera. Start YouTube. Okay, so that's a live stream. Oh, that's this live stream. See that little live there? That's this live stream. It's in the search. There's a short that I made, so the podcast, and so on. Camera shy. Anyways, now you know. Now you know how to do that. And you just click on videos to get back out of there. Okay, let me take a quick drink. Like a marathon. I was talking fast there. I got to slow down a little bit. I'm not usually that amped up. Might be these. All right, maybe I'm just excited that it's starting to feel like spring outside. Because that is awesome. That is awesome. Because after spring comes summer. Boating season. Okay, here's a question. Did you try using a cloud computer for your videos? For what? Did you try using a cloud computer I'm not sure what you mean there, but no, I don't. If you're talking to me, I don't use a cloud computer. I use a MacBook Pro is what I use. Calibrating? I'm not sure what that is short for, but no, I don't use a cloud computer at all. I use a cloud service sometimes if I want to send large files to people, like the channel reviews that I do. I make a video going over somebody's channel. I said they were going to be a 10 to 15 minute long video, but they've all been like 25 to 30 minutes. I just get talking, and so far so good. Everyone's loved them, but that ends up being a fairly large video. Now I render it at 1080p, so it's not too large. There's no need for that to be 4K. But yeah, I would upload that to Google Drive. So I use that cloud service, and then I send the link to the person who wanted the channel review. And they can download it from there. So that's what I use a cloud service for. So I hope that answered your question. 66 in North Carolina. Brian, that sounds like a nice day. You got a cat lover, David from South Africa. Welcome. Thanks a lot for the frozen outdoor videos. I miss the snow and ice here in southern Spain. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah. Yeah, no, I guess you wouldn't get a lot of a lot of ice like that in Spain. That ice, though, that I film up on the trail when I walk past it is so thick, it's gonna be a while before all that melts. Even though it's well above zero today, it's gonna need a few weeks of that before that goes away. Okay. All right, just kind of scrolling through. Yes, Mountain Finance, not too shabby. Thank you guys, actually, for helping me reach that. 40K passed, and now on to 50. At 50K, the roof will blow off? I hope not. It's not that warm out there. Okay. Great to see you too, voices. Yeah, I am live. Oh, and I often get a question. It's funny. Quite often after a live stream is over, so the way it works is when I'm live, you guys can chat on the side here, and I'll ask me questions, and I'll answer them, and you can chat amongst yourselves even. So that works. Once I am finished with the live stream, the chat ends. I think a few minutes later, that will be disabled, but the comments will start working because now that live stream is a video living in the live tab of my channel, but anybody can go in and watch that, right? But I'll quite often get comments on that live stream, meaning it's not live anymore. They're watching it on the replay, and some of the comments will be answers to questions that I was asking. And I think they think I'm still live, but I'm not. And in fact, somebody, I think last week said, oh, did I catch you on the live? Are you live? But that was in the comments. So no, I wasn't live. So anyway, and that's partially my fault too, because as you know, I run a countdown before my live streams start. It's usually 5 minutes. Today it was 2 minutes. But I'm not very good at remembering to go in and remove. I should be removing those from the live stream from the live videos on demand afterwards. I can go into YouTube, the editor that they have, and I can chop that beginning off so that the countdown's not there, or maybe the last second of it or something. I should get better at doing that. The reason, though, is I have trouble with that editor system. I don't know if the video has to exist for quite a while before it'll work, or I don't know. I just find it a little bit buggy, and you click something and you have to wait a long time before it'll start playing and stuff like that. So, anyways, that's I guess that's my problem. I'll figure it out. All right, the Keepers. You enjoyed the videos. Awesome. Thank you very much. Alabama in the house. Welcome. Okay, we've got Robert's Active Retirement. Welcome. Okay. Hello, Jess. Thanks for the advice. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'll just keep learning and showing up to do the work. That's it. And if that work can be like play, right? If you can really enjoy it, that'll go a long way. I like to say that it's super important that you enjoy this, because if you don't, it can start to feel like a job real quick. So for me, I think of it as a hobby, because I enjoy doing this. This is fun. I do this all the time, and it's awesome. All right, so 73 degrees in Tempe, Arizona. Going to hit 85. Wow. At least here, if it hits 85 in the summer, I can jump off the dock into the ocean and cool off. The ocean actually gets fairly warm here. It's and this is something that, I mean, this is completely off topic, but I've been to the west coast of the United States. I've actually never been to the west coast of Canada. I've never been to BC. I'm not proud to say, but because I'm a proud Canadian. But I have been to California many times, and like San Francisco. I love San Francisco. But the ocean temperature in San Francisco is colder there than it is here in the summer. And I think it's because of the way the currents move. In San Francisco, I think you get currents coming from like Japan and down the coast. Here, the current comes from Florida and up the coast, right? So we get the warm water coming up from the south. And yeah, so it's typically 74 to 76 degrees Fahrenheit, the water temperature here in the ocean in the summer. So that's not right up until pretty much the end of September. October, okay. You still swim. November's getting a little chilly. And it stays chilly until, I'm going to say, June. I mean, I've been in the water in May, but that's kind of chilly. Anyways, that was a tangent. I like my tangents. Abby says, still cringing trying to post my first video. I've recorded, but striving for courage to post. I look odd on camera versus real life. Weird, huh? Well, that's the thing. You don't look odd compared to real life. You look exactly the way you look in real life. It's just that you're not used to seeing yourself. Everybody else sees you all the time. It's new to you, right? And that's less so for the looks than for the sound. Because for the looks, at least you can get to see yourself in the mirror sometimes, right? Looks different though, because you're mirrored, right? It's not like when you play yourself back in the video, as long as, things aren't mirrored, you'll look a little different that way. Like if you part your hair, the part's on the other side now, so that's going to look different. But other than that, I guess the difference is in a mirror, in order to see yourself, you have to be looking at the mirror. So you're always seeing your eyes, right? And you're always like this, like you can't really see the back of your head, right? Whereas in a video, like if you kind of turn all the way around and then watch that back, you'd be like, does the back of my head look like that, right? Like then you'll start noticing that, wow, I didn't think I looked like that. Anyways, it's something everybody goes through, but just remember that what you look like on camera is how everybody has always and forever seen you. So it's just new to you. So I think that helped me anyways when I was going through this. It's just a mindset shift. And if you can get the other thing is too, if you just realize that most people out there who are watching videos are not concerned about what you look like at all. They're concerned about themselves. Everyone out there that sounds kind of mean. I was just going to say everybody's self-absorbed, right? They're always thinking of themselves. Like, what do I look like now? Oh, my shoe untied. Does my hair look all right? Did I forget to put makeup on? All this stuff, right? You're always thinking, I got to look a certain way. Then you go outside and you come back, and you're always thinking about yourself. Whereas, and I'm not talking about you, Abby, this is everybody. So knowing that that's what the majority of people out there are thinking when they're walking around in the world, they're not looking at a person they don't even know and saying, that's a weird looking person. Not typically anyways. Yeah, maybe that helps. Okay. Did I try to use a cloud computer to make videos? No, I've never done that. My laptop is very slow to do a 4K video. I don't know why Cal starts getting in there. Okay, that's twice that's gotten in there. I don't know what you mean by that. But slow to make a 4K video? Yeah, so that's something I did not address well enough in that video that I made a couple weeks ago about why I think everybody should film in 4K. Yeah, the reality is you do need a beefier computer to be able to work with 4K files. Processing speed, RAM, all that stuff. And the longer your video is going to be, the more processing speed you need, right? So yeah, I kind of dropped the ball a little bit there, because obviously if you don't have a computer that can deal with that, then you're not going to be able to deal with that. But yeah, so the processing speed, like your processor, your CPU of your computer, that is what you need. A good CPU in order to be able to, how do I word this? The better your CPU is, the more money you spend on your CPU, the faster your computer will be able to render video files. And 4K video files take typically 4 times longer than a 1080p one because the file size is 4 times the size. Yeah, so there's that. RAM, right? If you're dealing with, so if I shoot a 4K video that's 30 minutes long, that's probably 15 gigabytes. That raw video alone is 15 gigs. So if I'm now editing a video and I'm going to bring that 15 gig video in, and oh, by the way, I also captured my screen, maybe that video is another 2 gigs. And then, oh, maybe I have another 15 gig video that I want to take a little snippet from. I bring that in. Now I've got like 50 gigabytes of video files in my video editing software. Well, if I've only got 16 gigabytes of RAM in my computer, it's not going to be able to handle, like, things will stop so that you can go do something else. Like, things really slow down. So if you, better processor will render your videos faster and allow you to move things around better. Good graphics card helps with moving stuff around too. RAM, lots of RAM. I have 32 gigs of RAM in this MacBook. I think like this, I've had this for 2 years now, and I'll probably have it for at least another year. When I do upgrade, I may look at getting 64, just because, like, every once in a while, I'll just have to reboot my computer just to flush the RAM out, and and I have a fairly powerful computer. So this is a MacBook Pro M1 chip, but it's the M1 Max chip. So it's pretty, it wasn't cheap, but it is, what, 3-4 years old now. Anyways, so, but no, I have never tried using a cloud computer to do this. I have not. I've only used my own. And before this, I had a PC desktop computer that my son helped me make. More of a gaming computer, but gaming computers, and that's the other thing. A gaming computer is also a good video editing computer, usually, because gaming also requires a good video card, RAM, good processor, right? All the things you need as a video editor, a gamer needs. So typically, it's the same type of computer. So there you go. Here's a question. The future is bright. Rob, your content and live streams are incredibly helpful. Thank you. Do you see any difference in momentum from posting twice a week versus 3 times a week? Yes and no. Yeah, so it's so dependent on the content. Like, lately I've been doing 3 times a week. A couple weeks ago, there was 1 week I only did one video that week, but it was a more involved video. It was that one on going through all my analytics and stuff, and it took me several days to put that video together. So here's the thing though, if I wait 5, 6, 7 days before I post another video, because people are used to seeing a video from me, 3 a week, 2 to 3 a week, if I then wait extra long before another video comes out, there might be a little bit of a boost because a little bit more interest, right? Just because, oh, Rob hasn't been posting lately. Here's a video. Let's see what's going on, right? So that might help actually. A little bit of a delay might give you a bit of a boost. But on the flip side, or not really the flip side, but in addition, if you're posting 3 videos a week and you're struggling to do that, and if you're super busy and you're doing it, but maybe the quality of your videos is suffering a little bit, you're not going that extra mile to do the extra edits you might otherwise do if you had another couple days, and maybe you didn't put as much thought into the content, into the subject or what you're going to be talking about in a video, right? If you're trying to do too much, then your videos will suffer a little bit. And as a result of that, kind of indirectly, you'll start getting probably less views, okay? Because they're not doing as well. So yeah, but no, I think if you can post twice a week, that's fantastic. That's great. If you can do 3 times a week, I would say that's a little better, as long as you have the time to put the effort into those that you want to, right? So that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't. Now, yesterday's video, I kind of rushed that one because, and I'll get into that shortly, but that video, so Sunday night is usually like Sunday, I will go out on the trail, I'll film myself, right, walking on the trail, walk and talk video. That was kind of the plan. But I forget what I ended up doing, but I had a curling practice. I don't know if you guys, a lot of you may not even know what curling is, but it's a sport that's very popular here in Canada, and I curl. I'm a curler. So anyways, I had a practice on Sunday and then got home, and I don't know, just busy and tired. I was really tired. So I ended up not doing it. And I woke up Monday morning, it's like, oh, I really wanted to have a video out at 9 my time, which is 8 a.m. And it was 7:30, and it's like, you know what? Okay, let's do that. I was almost not going to do it, and then I decided, let's do this. I've got an idea. And then, yeah, I wrote down some bullet points. A lot of them, actually. Too many, probably. I tell you guys maybe 3 or 4 bullet points. This is my sheet from Monday's video. So, struggling with YouTube, you're making the wrong content. Why no views? So that was my title. That was what I started with. And then the tape is still here. I taped that to my tripod, sat down, recorded it. I started this at 7:30. And by, I think it was 10:30, the video was live on YouTube. So I had edited it. I got the file off my, camera. Anyway, within 3 hours I did it. So I was thinking, you know what, I kind of forced that one through. Didn't give it as much time as I should. But it's not doing too bad. If I look at, I'm just going to look at the analytics. Where am I even going? Okay, here. Actually, I should share this with you guys, just so you get an idea as to what I look for. That's the wrong thing. Let's bring this down here. Okay, so yeah, this is YouTube Studio. So I go into analytics, okay, and then I come over here, see more, and that brings this up. So this will tell you, this graph here shows you how many views you're getting per hour, okay? And this is each minute of the last hour, all right? So we're getting a boost here because I'm live, and that's what this line is so big. That's why that's all about. Yeah, so here it is right here. You can tell last 48 hours, so this is a little more than a day ago this video started. That's the video that I put out yesterday. And you can hover over this, and you can click on analytics just for that video. And it'll take you here just for that video. It's doing a little bit above average, right? This range, is typical for my videos at this point. And yeah, it's doing above average, which I'm a little bit surprised at because I put so little effort into it. I thought it was a good topic, but yeah, so that's what I do. I look at this, as I say, this is what I typically have on my other monitor a lot of the time, so I can see if what's going on. Yeah, so there you go. Geez, for a second there, I thought I forgot to share my screen. So yeah. Did I answer your question though? Do I see any difference in momentum posting twice a week versus 3 times a week? So no, I really don't. It's you're a little bit busier doing 3 times a week. The way I look at it, if you're brand new, I think it's more important to get videos out there as quickly as you can. Again, you know, don't sacrifice quality just for quantity. You know, you want to still make decent videos, or they're not going to get views, right? So yeah, and then, but once I had a system in place that allowed me to make videos fairly quickly. This is about a year ago, is when I finally kind of nailed down a good system for making my how-to videos. Then I was able to do it 3 times a week comfortably. In fact, I got to a point where I had 3 videos uploaded and waiting, like my next 3 already done. I was ahead of the game. I'm rarely ahead of the game these days. But yeah, so that's that. I hope that helped answer your question. Let me take a quick drink here. I want to get into the video editing soon, within the next 5-10 minutes or so. And I'll show you how I edited that video. I'll show you right from the raw files. All right, so now I'm just going to scroll through. I'm looking for more questions. See if I'm missing any. Where is Rob? Rob's right here. How you doing? That just jumped out at me. I know it's not a question. Well, it was a question. Okay, what's this? Ever had your video changed to the 18+ category on YouTube? Not sure if I messed up when uploading the video, or Google doesn't like the words Trump or Canada in subject matter. No, I've never had it change. I mean, I don't mark my videos as being for kids. They're, you know, regular for adults or whatever. And for the monetization, you have to basically disclose if you're putting anything in there that some advertisers might not want to advertise on videos like that, right? So I'm like things like profanity, right? So I don't swear typically in my videos. I don't think I really ever have, maybe under my breath, but yeah, you just basically have to say, yeah, no, I don't use profanity. And there's a list of about 8 things that they don't want, that you want to basically, you have to say. You check off the boxes if you don't do those. And mine is, yeah, I don't do any of those. So then submit. And that's for monetization. Without monetization, I'm not sure. I've never had the category change on me. As far as Google not liking the words Trump or Canada, I don't think that's the way it is. There may be people who own channels who don't want certain words. You know, like for example, so I mean, you mentioned Trump. I'm not going to get political or anything. I'm in Canada, so I'm out of that whole thing. But if somebody, let's say there's a channel that talks about far-right conservative Trump stuff, but then there's an advertiser here who wants to advertise maybe far-left, liberal, or Democrat stuff, right? They don't want to advertise on channels that have content about Trump, or like pro-Trump content. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things, or if we think from a company perspective, some companies may not want advertisers on their channels advertising competing products, right? So I've never really gotten that much into all that, because I've never advertised on Google or YouTube. I've never paid for any advertising at all. I don't really believe in it. Not for what I'm doing, not for growing a channel organically. Like if you had a finished product and you wanted to sell to as many people as you, then there's, you know, a case for buying ads and whatnot. But it's not something I've gotten into. So my knowledge on that is a little bit limited, but that's logically that's about what I know. I am in Nova Scotia. Yes, I am. Okay, any other questions here? Outdoor Gypsy, Prescott, Arizona. Learning a lot from you. Small channel here, but trying. Keep at it. You'll get it. Keeping up with Beverly. Hey, Rob, just started my channel. Thanks. Awesome. Congratulations. Good luck with that. Swiss Life. I want to start an art channel. Do you have any recommendations on how to come up with good name for my channel? Beverly from Switzerland. So I love the idea of putting your first name in your channel name. I tell lots of people that. That's what I've done. Rob the Maritimer is my channel name. And that's because I want myself to be the brand. I put myself in all my thumbnails on my, actually I'm not in my channel banner. Probably should be, but, right. So because I want to be known as the brand and I want to, build relationships, with my audience, I want it to be easy for people to know that my name is Rob, right? So I don't want people to have to dig too deep to find that out. And if that's what you want to do, if you want to be prominent in your channel, then I'd put your first name in your channel name. So it could be Beverly the Artist or Artsy Beverly or something like that, right? That's where my mind goes. It's not the only way to do it though. Keep in mind, whatever your channel name is, really doesn't affect the performance of your videos at all. All it is a way to maybe have people remember your channel name easier if you can come up with something clever. Easy to spell would be nice, or not easily misspelled, put it that way. It would be good, whatever you choose. So yeah, that's and then yeah, that's what I would suggest. Anyways, I hope that helps. Okay, so what are we? 3:03 here, so 2:03 Eastern Time. Done is better than perfect. I like that. I like that. Okay, here we go. Any idea I have? It looks like someone has already been doing it better. That's always going to be the way. That's always going to be the case. So I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe pretty much all the ideas have been covered out there. I mean, maybe somebody comes up with something clever and it's a little bit different, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty impossible, next to impossible, to come up with a brand new idea for a video that's never been done. So the way I like to look at it is, when I make a video, what's going to make my video different than any other video out there is the fact that I made it. It's mine. It's me in the video. That's why I don't believe in AI and faceless videos, because anybody, like thousands of people, could be making a video on a subject. The video I put out yesterday, are you struggling with YouTube? You're making the wrong content. There's probably a lot of videos out there about that. A lot. It's just that I hadn't made one exactly like that, and I have an audience here that I'm growing and getting new people all the time, so I thought it makes sense for me to talk about that, right? I'm not just, actually I think this is important. I'm not just I'm not really selling information, but when I make videos, I'm not, well, yeah, I'll use that term. I'm not selling information to you people. I'm not selling information. I'm not trying to peddle information to you. I'm basically trying to sell myself. And what I mean by that is whatever I have to say, maybe there's somebody out there who wants to hear me say it. Or they want to hear my opinion on things or my take on things, right? So I might have a slightly different take on things than other people. Now, I will also say that I don't consider myself an expert in YouTube. I'm still pretty new at this, and I still look at a lot of YouTube videos myself. I'm learning every day. But what I am doing and what I want to be upfront about with everybody is that as I learn things, I'm going to bring them to you. So I did some research on this stuff. Like I use ChatGPT. I go to YouTube and I'll search other videos. Like what do I need to know here? What don't I know? And I just got to ask the right questions in ChatGPT, or before ChatGPT, just Google or YouTube, right? And just learn. And then I will present what I've learned in the way that I do. which is going to be a little bit different than anybody else does. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I would suggest you look at it. You're not going to come up with a brand new idea that's never been done before. You just got to add your own little spin. And that may not even take any effort at all. If you just be yourself and talk the way and explain things the way you explain things, then just by that very fact, it's going to be a video that's different than anybody has ever seen before. Okay, so I hope that helps. That's the way I like to look at it myself. I find it helps me. Okay. Your thoughts on Pixel's thumbnail AI maker? I don't have any thoughts on that because I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Generally, though, in general, I'm not a big believer in making thumbnails with AI because they're so darn easy to make. I don't know Photoshop. I never was able to pick up Photoshop. I found it too hard to learn. If I really put my mind to it, I could probably figure it out, but it's just complicated, way more than I ever needed anything like that for. So I got into Canva and I use Canva, and to me, that's super easy. And since I'm keeping all my thumbnails super simple, just a screenshot of me, in whatever location I was at when I made my video, and put some text on top of that. Maybe add some brightness. That's it. That's all I do. Maybe I'll zoom myself in a bit sometimes, and that's it. I shouldn't say that's it. The odd time I have, so like here, if I go back here, like this thumbnail here, I did add some images, right? Actually, maybe it'll make more sense for me to go to Canva. Go to Canva and come into this file. This is where I have all my latest thumbnails, my most recent, I don't know how many are here, but there's a lot. And if I scroll down, yeah, so this thumbnail here, that was an image I added. It was a screenshot of a question that Roseanne asked in a comment. And that's what that video was about. So I put that there, even though it's probably really hard to read in the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm not a thumbnail expert. I try though. Here is, I was talking about 4,000 watch hours and why that's not what you need to get monetized. It's a little bit of a play on words, but I wanted that and I put a big X there. I thought it was applicable. This one, a little different because I put that behind myself, that YouTube. I made a copy of myself and then just, see here, I removed the background from the front copy. So that's how you do that. And then you just put it on top like that. Kind of a neat effect. And that's also how I typically brighten my face. I don't know if I did it there, but see, if I brighten my face on this top copy, it won't brighten everything over here. So like if I go edit and come up to adjust, and this brightness here, see that? That's only adjusting the brightness of me. Whereas if I just move this over here for a second, and if I select the background one and adjust the brightness, it's of the whole image, right? So that's how I'm able to, and that's one of the thumbnail videos I made, kind of went over how I did that. Okay, now I've messed up. So, okay, so Control Z, 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 is that working? There, we're back. Control Z or Z. I forget, one of them's Canadian way of saying it or British, and one of them's American. I always get them mixed up. Z and Z is used interchangeably here. Is undo. I use that all the time. So there you go. I've never used Pixel's AI thumbnail maker, so sorry, I don't know. But there are an awful lot of AI tools out there, a lot. The only one I use is ChatGPT. Okay, here's a question from the Drakes. Do you recommend scheduling uploads for a future date and time as opposed to the publish now option? Yes, I do, because I've kind of fallen into a bit of a rhythm that I post at 9 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. Eastern. And so if I finish the video the night before, I'll schedule it for the next morning at a specific time. That's what I usually like to do. Doesn't mean I do it every time. Like yesterday, I was running behind and it wasn't until 10:30 before I was ready. And then, so in that case, I still uploaded it. I believe I uploaded it unlisted. Or no, I scheduled it for 11 a.m., knowing that I should be done before then, because I was still working on the thumbnail and all that stuff. And then and well, then YouTube has to go through its checks, right? Checking for copyright infringement and all that stuff. But then once I saw everything had checked out, everything was good, everything's ready to go, and I think it was 10:25 a.m., I went in and I changed the 11 a.m. publish date to immediate. I just published it right then. Or did I? Or maybe I changed it to 10:30. I don't remember. Either way. So yeah, I don't always schedule it, but it's a good habit. Like if you can make several in advance and have them all scheduled out, that's helpful, especially if you want to go away for a week somewhere and you aren't able to publish. So that's a good time to use the scheduling option. All right. Okay. I have to, once again, I'm getting very, okay. When I see the 3 Qs, I do stop and I answer. Okay. Yeah. So calming and soothing. You mentioned you asked ChatGPT to come up with a description, tags. How does it know what kind of video you have made? It knows because I have already been talking with ChatGPT about titles. I usually start off with, I want to make a video about, you know, the title is good. Well, one of the ones I'm working on now. So actually, I could probably show you that. Let me find it first. Video title ideas, is that it? Yeah, this is it right here. So let me share my screen. I'll bring this down. So here you go. This is the conversation I had. I typed this to ChatGPT. I want to make another video for my main channel and a potential title is How I Lost Over 4,800 Subscribers. The video will be a demonstration where I show people how to use YouTube Studio's analytics to see how many subscribers they've lost in a given period. For me, I've got 40,291 subscribers net, but I've gained 45,106 and lost 4,815 over the life of the channel. Their answer, that's a great video idea. It's intriguing. It has an element of curiosity, will likely drive engagement because people might assume you did something wrong when in reality, you're just demonstrating an overlooked but valuable analytics tool. Here are a few refinements and additional ideas. Gave me more title ideas. Okay, so I haven't settled on the title yet. I might come back to this later and say, yeah, I'm still not sure of the title. Can you give me 10 more choices? Right, and it will. Thumbnail ideas, gives me some thumbnail ideas. Video structure, here's a hook idea, demonstration. Like I may not look at all that. I wasn't expecting it to give me all that. But the bottom line is I have these conversations ahead of time. So now I can go in and I'll just show you how it works. How do I want to word this? So normally what I would say is, great, can you give me a short 2-sentence description for this video? So I haven't made the video, but it knows enough about what I want to make to be able to come up with a description. So I'll enter that, and this is what I get. I've gained over 45,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I've also lost more than 4,800. In this video, I'll show you how to check your own lost subscribers in YouTube Studio, explain why it happens, and why it's nothing to worry about. Great, right? Copy, paste. That's what I would do. If that sounds just fine to me. And then I'll go, can you also provide a list of tags I can copy into YouTube Studio? Forgot the question mark. Here's a list of tags. There it is. So copy, paste. I will scan through them. If there's any I don't want or if there's additional ones I want to add, I'll make changes. But it's a great time saver initially because, again, I don't think these descriptions and tags even mean that much anymore. I know a lot of people don't even use them. So yeah, but I'm still putting them in. It takes me, what did that take me? Less than 5 minutes to do that. Copy, paste, they're in there, right? So because it doesn't take me that long, I still do that. Okay. That's how it knows what kind of video I made. So I give it some information. Should I apologize for those who are waiting for the video editing? So I'm going to have to skip over some of these questions. I see some here, but maybe I'll come back to some of these. Let me just check the current. What's going on in here? Try a few videos, no tags. You're going to try, okay, so onboarding information. I'm going to try a few videos with no tags and see if that improves my channel views. That's great. And that's, quite honestly, that's what YouTube's all about. It's about trying new things and seeing how things are affected, like measuring the results. Sometimes it's hard to isolate and just measure results, and because there's usually several things that change from video to video, but you can usually get a pretty good idea. And yes, I am using Ecamm Live. Yep. Ecamm Live is here on my MacBook here. And then I have two monitors here. One that I share with you guys sometimes, and one that is, it's my big video editing monitor, and I kind of use it as a, what do I call it? Like a repository, I guess. I got a whole bunch of windows open. And if I want to drag something else down to the one that I share with you guys, that's what I do. Well, I can, why don't I do that? Share, for those who are new, there's my setup. So yeah, here's my MacBook, and it's running Ecamm Live. Okay, the software. Here is the monitor. This is just a cheap flat panel monitor. Well, not that cheap, but it's like 150 bucks, I think is what it was, a 1080p monitor. That's what I share with you guys when I do that. Sorry, you're over here now. And then that's my editing monitor. It's a 34-inch BenQ. It's something like 6 years old now. It's a 4K monitor, and I like it because I can have a nice long timeline when I'm editing videos. So yeah, that's my, and then I can drag. So if I'm sharing this with you, I would press this button over here, right, to now share this. Now you can't see me though, so, oh no, go back to the iPhone, right? And then I can do things like this ChatGPT window. I can just drag it down here, and now I'm sharing that with you if I hit the right button over here. Okay, so that is how I do it. So I hope that helped. And welcome, David Hunt, the newest crew member. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Glad to have you. I'll let you guys know once. So we've got some members now. I'll let you guys know once we have once I schedule the first basically members only live stream, and I'll send you guys all a message about that. But yeah, welcome. So yeah, he gets a little anchor there beside his name as a member. And that anchor changes colors the more months you are a member. It's kind of the way it works. Kind of a fun thing. Okay, let's get into the video editing. And I'll come back to the chat. So we're not finished with the chat. So best thing to do here is share my screen. And so I can close that. Don't need that. I'm going to close it all. What I want to get is, I want to open one of these, Camtasia. So I'll open that, I'll click New Project. Here is Camtasia. Let me drag this over here. No, I can leave that there. Camtasia, New Project. So where do we start? So what I should show you is my folder structure. Let me bring that down. So this, actually it might make more sense if I do minimize this a little bit. Just trying to figure out the best way to show all this to you guys so it makes a little sense. I'll put the Finder window up there. How's that? And here's the editing software. Let's go to the Finder window. So what I did is I started back there in that chair behind me. You see it here, right here. And that's where I filmed this video, all right? So what I did is I created a folder for this project, and it was this one here, Struggling with YouTube Wrong Videos. Okay, that's what I called the folder. I put the date there, 2025, February 24th. Okay, so let's go in there, double click. You guys can see this, yep. So now there's a bunch of things in here. So this is empty when I start. So the first thing I do is I right click like this, and I'll click New Folder, and I'll create a recordings folder, okay? So I went over there with this taped to my tripod. I sat down, pressed record on the camera, which has an SD card in it, okay? And then this microphone, I actually have to unplug from here and set it up over there. You can't really see it right there. I set it up over here, okay, pointed down but out of frame. I use that same shotgun mic. And it's wired all the way back to my computer here. It's wired to this thing, my audio interface. So there's only one connected, but that's actually a Y splitter. So that wire for the microphone and this wire for that microphone are both plugged into a Y splitter, so that whichever one I have this shotgun mic plugged into is going to get picked up by this thing, which is then plugged into my MacBook. Okay, are you with me? Sorry, that one there. Still with me? So the mic is connected to my computer. Because of that, I need to open audio software to capture the recording, the audio recording. I don't capture the audio recording on the camera. Well, it does capture audio, but that's not the audio I use. I use the audio from this mic. Okay, so yes, mic, that is a Synco mic D2 is what this is. That's the mic I use. And it is, I bought that before I want to say before I made my first YouTube video. So it's probably 4 or 5 years old now. But that's, you got the same one. Great. I love it. I think it sounds great. So I use Adobe Audition, right, to capture the audio. So I don't have to, I'm not going to go through that, but just know that I captured the audio and then I did a little bit of processing to that to make it sound a little bit better. So I basically boost the bass a little bit. And well, no, I will show you. I will show you. Let me launch that. I'll have to bring it onto, here we go. So here's Adobe Audition. All right. So I can make it smaller. This is audio software. And so what I'll do is I'll go Control-Shift-N for a new file, and I'll always call it voice. There's a new voice file. Now, if I hit record here, it's going to start recording it. Hello, can you hear me? Yep, it's recording my voice right now. Now I stopped it. Now it's got this. Let's just play it back. Hello, can you hear me? Yep, it's recording my voice right now. Okay, so there you go. That's how I capture it. So what I do is I will come over to my computer. I'll hit record on, I'll have to make sure the audio interface is on. I'll hit record in Adobe Audition. I'll go over there. I'll hit record on that camera. I'll sit down and then I'll start messing up and trying to start my video. I'll just start talking and recording. It's recording the whole thing. And when I'm done, it's usually a half an hour or longer, the raw video. I'll stop that. I'll come over here. I'll stop this. And then I have two files, video file and an audio file. This video file, I then come, you can't see this. Now you can see it. I will come here and I usually leave this door open underneath and then I press it. I'll pop this out. The SD card, you see that? Focus. It's not focusing on that. There we go. This little guy pops into my MacBook, okay, and then I can copy the file from this to my MacBook. I'm going to put it back because I'm going to lose it if I don't. I just put this back in here. There. And this wire, by the way, means that allows this camera to always be on. This is a power. It doesn't. I have a dummy battery in it plugged into the wall, so that's how it gets its power. Okay, back here now. So, and then with the audio, let me just play this back again. Hello, can you hear me? Yep, it's recording my voice right now. Okay, what I do then, so I will save this, Control-S, save that in my downloads folder. Then I'll go Control-Shift-S to save as, and I'll make another copy of it. I'll go _PROC, that's my abbreviation for processed. I will hit enter. Now I've got another copy of this, but now I want to process this. So I go up to my favorites and I will go Rob Voice 2021. That's how long ago it was that I created this little preset that goes through a whole bunch of different things. So watch what happens once I click this. That happened really quick because it was a short file. But now see if it sounds any different. Hello, can you hear me? Yep, it's recording my voice right now. Sounds better, okay? It boosted things. There's compression I added, some parametric equalizer. I don't believe I have a noise gate added to that. There's a whole bunch of different things. You can actually see what I've done. I'm getting way more involved in this than, how do I do that? No, you know what? That should be the subject of another video sometime. I should go through exactly how I do that. But anyways, now I've got a better file, a better sounding audio file. I will Control S to save that. Now I'm going to get this out of the way because I'm finished with it. I'll close it actually. Now, if we come back here to my downloads folder, we can see here, voice and voice PROC. Those are the two files. All right, if I go File, New Tab, all right? So what I usually do is I'll open a new tab and then I'll come over here and I'll go to that SD card that I plugged in here and I'll grab that video file and drag it to my computer, all right? That's how I do all that. So now let's get back into the project right here and the recordings. This is where I dragged those files, this one and those two. I don't know why I keep the voice file, the original one. I just do in case I ever mess anything up with the processed one and I have to start over again. But other than that, I don't use that file anymore. So now watch what I do. I will import both of those and I usually just drag and drop them. So I always put the voice on the bottom. So I'll click this and I'll drag it down to the timeline. Okay, and then I will take this. This is the camera file. It's 7.8 gigabytes. And I'll click and I'll drag that down. Okay, so I've got two files. I'm now going to get this out of the way. We don't need that anymore. And I'll make this a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. Is that good? Okay, let me adjust this up like this. Make this a little bigger. Okay, here we go. Now, I've got two files in here. And now we need to sync them up. Okay, so this is how we zoom in and out. And just by doing that, you can kind of see where they should line up, can't you? By looking at the waveforms. Because the camera also recorded audio, as did this microphone. So both things have audio. This top one is the camera with audio. This bottom one is just audio. So like if I move this out of the way, the playhead over that, it's just audio. So it's not going to show you anything visually. Okay, but this has audio and video. All right, so and then you can hear the difference. So yeah, let's let's do this. You can hide a track. Let's hide this one so you can see what this sounds like. If you're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get views. Okay, compare that to this. Struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get views. Let's play the original one again. The views you think you should be getting on YouTube. Okay, so that one, which is the camera's microphone, the built-in microphone in that Sony camera, sounds tinnier, more echo. Just it's not as good a camera. Not as good a microphone. Microphones inside cameras typically aren't that good. I think the iPhone microphone is actually better than that Sony camera's microphone. But regardless, I didn't use the iPhone for this. So now we have to sync these up. The easiest way to do that is, before I do any more editing now. Oh, Leanne says, can you enhance your voice overall? I have a soft voice that doesn't carry well. Is there a way to enhance my voice? Well, yeah, you can boost the levels of your voice, definitely. That you can even do that in Camtasia. That's just a matter of, you highlight it here, see this little volume thing here? You can boost it like that. I'm going to undo that, just so it stays at 100. But yeah, you can boost it like that. But what you probably want to do with Audition, Adobe Audition, or something similar, like Audacity is a free program you can use, is if you get into the equalizer, if you boost the lows and the highs, I guess everybody's voice is different, so there's not one way there's not one way of boosting a voice that works for all voices, right? You almost have to kind of play with it with your own voice and see what sounds better. But there's all kinds of things you can do. The bass, the treble, and a whole bunch of, what do they call it? Frequencies in between. You can change all of those. And then compression is what helps with, let's say you've recorded yourself and there's some parts that you're super loud and other parts you're super low. The compression and the way you set that will kind of equalize that. Okay, it'll bring the lower volume ones up and it'll reduce the high volumes down a bit, instead of just dragging the volume slider up and down like I showed you in Camtasia. So compression, which you would do outside of Camtasia, would be a better way to do that. Just quickly seeing if I missed any question. Can I use for podcasting? Okay. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, no. The podcasts that I do, if they're live, like I'm not using Audition now for this live stream. So my voice here is not being processed at all. This is more similar to what my voice would have sounded like before I added the processing. So any live chats that I did with guests that I had come in, that I then turned into podcasts, what I did was I didn't do any video. I didn't do any audio processing to those. But if I make a video and if I record a podcast with somebody and it wasn't live, then I can use something like Audition to modify the audio later before I post it and make it live. So depending on how you do your podcasts. That said, there are specific tools you can use for podcasts, like the Rodecaster Pro, for instance. Something like that would allow you to make those types of adjustments in real time. I don't have one of those. I could use one and make my voice sound perhaps better than it does right now, but I haven't. I spent enough money on this office as it is. So yeah, there you go. Madrid Man, your first live stream. Welcome. Awesome. Okay, let me get back into this. So we have to sync these up. We got the audio on top and the video down here. You can't see it all unless I zoomed like this, but I want to zoom in all the way. The more you zoom in, the easier this becomes to sync up. And then you just click one and drag it. Try to line it up like that. Move the playhead. Let's zoom in even farther. See how close it is. And if it's not close, like that is out of sync, you'll be able to tell when you play it back. Listen to this.
If you're struggling to get the views,
you get that echo, right? So you can test to see if it's lined up well. If the echo is pretty much gone, then it's lined up well.
If you're struggling to get the
That's pretty good right there. Maybe back one more.
If you're struggling to get the views, you think
I think it was better. It's somewhere in there.
If you're struggling to get the view,
I think that's pretty good. And then what I do is on the video one, the top one, I will right click this and I will silence the audio. That's getting rid of the camera microphone's audio. So now we got this.
If you're struggling to get the views,
okay, so good. That's synced. I now don't want to move one of those without moving both of them. Okay, you could group them together to make that easier, but I typically don't bother with that. I just always highlight them both together. But what I will do is I'll click this over here and I'll shorten it and bring it up there so that they are lined up. I'll then go to the end and I'll do the same thing. Zoom in. So here what happened is I would have stopped the recording of the camera before the audio. And then I walked over and stopped the audio. Okay, so let's bring that up there. All right, now let's edit this, shall we? So this is what I do. So now, yeah, you're going to see the whole raw thing. I'm not going to play, well, I'll play most of it, but you'll get to see what I go through here. If I double click here, shift and drag this back, now we're at the beginning. I can also, you notice how I did not put it down on track 1? That's because that's just a habit of mine. I usually put music on the first track. So if I open up with music or have music at the end, that's where I'll put it, usually on track 1, but you don't have to. That's the beauty of Camtasia. You're not limited to where you can put audio and video tracks. Unlike, say, actually, pretty much all the other ones, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, I believe they all there's like a line in the middle, and everything below that is where your audio files go. Music, voice, sound effects, all down here, and all video and B-roll and stuff goes up here. So I guess that's the proper way to do it, but I've been using Camtasia forever, so I've just got my own way of doing it. So now let's just go through this. You can see where I've said stuff, right? You get these little spikes. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it better. And now I'll drag it through.
Test.
Okay, that was just a throat clearing.
Test.
Test. All right. So I don't want any of that. So now I'm just looking at my phone. Another throat clearing.
Test.
And I'm just looking at that thing that on my tripod, trying to figure out how I'm going to start this video. And it takes me a while. Let's just scroll ahead here to the next one. That's another test, I think.
Test.
I don't know why. I say that all the time.
If you're struggling,
Okay.
if you're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube.
Nope, not a good one. And you can tell, right? I can tell that that's not a good one. I'm just kind of playing this for you guys anyways. But let's play this one.
If you're struggling to get the view...
Before I finish that, I'm actually going to jump ahead here to see if this is the same thing.
Probably the number one thing I know.
No, it's not. So I must have had a good copy back here. Let's zoom in a little bit further. I'm thinking I kept this one. So actually, I'm going to highlight both these and press S for split to get rid of everything before that. Now, if I was going to make bloopers on this, add bloopers to the end of the video, I would move that to the very end for later, okay? Because I might take some bloopers out of that. I didn't do that in this video because I didn't have time. I was running out of time. So I just deleted it. So delete, and now let's play.
If you're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get views.
And the other thing, another trick here, remember JKL. K is like play and stop, I believe. Or no, L is play. K is stop, and J is play backwards. So, but if you hit L multiple times, you can end up playing at twice the speed, 3 times the speed. And, you know, I can tell by looking at this, I'm probably keeping all of this because there was no pauses. So I'm going to play it faster. So we'll play it.
You're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get views, watch hours, subscribers. You're just kind of spinning your wheels and you're not getting ahead like you believe you should be because you feel like you're making great videos. Does that sound like you? If so, you might be making wrong content. Not the wrong content for you, but the wrong content for your audience.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there.
The wrong content for your audience.
Stop. I'll highlight S for split, so I'm going to keep that. And let's come up to this one.
In this video, I want to help you.
No, it's a bad one.
In this video, I want to help you shift your strategy so that you can...
No, didn't finish it there.
In this video, I want to help you shift your strategy so you can make...
Still didn't get it. That's not going to be it.
In this video, I want to help you shift your...
So at this point, I'm getting to the end. I know all this is garbage, so I'll split that and I'll delete it. Press Shift, click and drag this back. I'm guessing this is the right one, but let's just see.
For your audience. In this video...
No, that wasn't tight enough. Some of you may have heard me say, make your edits nice and tight, okay? What I mean by that is, if you zoom in, you can tell there's space here before I say anything and space here at the end of the previous one. You want to hide cuts as best you can, and you can do that by making it tighter. You especially want the second one, like the new clip that you're picking up, to be real tight. You want that to start as you're speaking. You don't want it to cut to you staring at the camera and then you speak, right? It's just not as natural. So let's just see what this looks like.
For your audience. In this video...
Yeah, I think that could be a little tighter. So I'm going to go right there. Whoops. S for split and delete that. And I'm going to delete a little bit more of this one too. Delete that. And I'll close it up. See what that is.
Your audience. In this video, I want to help you...
Maybe even make that tighter. Like, take one more frame off.
audience. In this video, I want to help you shift your strategy so that you start making videos people actually want to watch.
Okay, I paused too long there. This is the intro. Actually, let's go back out here. I want to bring the, so this is the intro. Let's go right back to the beginning. I want to see what seconds we're at. So we're at, well, almost at 30 seconds.
If you're
Actually, I didn't start quick enough, did I?
if you
Yeah, I want to start a little quicker here. It's important to get the beginning as tight as you can. So that's why in the beginning I'll edit a lot of spaces out.
if you're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube,
Right there. So now I'm going to make this a little bit tighter. Even though I haven't finished the overall edit yet, sometimes I go back and forth.
you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get views, watch hours, subscribers.
Okay, I'm going to cut that there. I can just tell that there's a bit of a space. Cut that out.
Subscribers, you're just kind of spinning your wheels and you're not getting ahead like you believe you should be because you feel like you're
I can cut that space out as well. As you can see how time-consuming this could be if you cut every space out.
believe you should be because you feel like you're making great videos. Making great videos. Does that sound like you? If so, you
I'm going to leave that space in there because I asked a question, right? Let's let that question percolate a little bit with the audience.
that sound like you? If so, you might be making the wrong content.
I think I want to cut it there.
Not the wrong
Another question. Hi, Rob. I have trouble with my edits. When I cut the playback, is choppy. Defo, it's me. Any tips? I think that's just what I was just talking about. You can hide some choppiness by making that second, like when the next video picks up, like the second one of a cut here, like if this, for this cut, make sure this one is real tight to the audio you're about to say. And if you're having trouble getting it really tight, you just zoom in farther. Right? So there is a little bit more I could have cut out there, but I think that sounds okay.
content. Not the wrong content for you.
I'll even cut that one out too. There to there.
But the wrong content for your audience. In this video, I want to help you shift your strategy so that you start making videos people actually.
Okay, I want to get rid of that pause. Like that.
So that you start making videos people actually want to watch.
Okay, I'm going to make a cut there. Yeah, it's crazy how many cuts I can have in a gaming video. Oh man, I imagine. Editing is actually pretty fun in my opinion. It can be rough too. Like doing the gaming stuff live, yeah. And all the cuts that I made here, I don't do that usually. I'm only doing that because it's the beginning, and the beginning is super important to get your hook down and to try to get as many people to continue to watch as possible. So let me just remind myself, what was the last thing I said?
People actually want to watch. Probably the number one.
Okay, so then I will cut there, delete all of that.
So that you start making videos people actually want to watch. Probably the number one thing I notice when people come to.
So we're 30 seconds into the video. At this point, I'm now not going to worry about cutting out dead space. Okay? If you got, usually half the people make it this far. Well, actually, I think it's around, what do I usually see? Like 70%. If I can have it 70% or higher, people still watching at the 30-second mark, that's good. Or that's average. Typical. It's typical is what YouTube says.
To me with.
So now, instead of going through all of this, I'm pretty sure the rest of this, see, I never paused much through all of this. So
Troubles
probably all
getting
good.
views, think they're not growing as fast as they should be, is that they're making videos for themselves, videos they would like to watch, or videos that basically talk about their passion or.
Okay, all that's good. Whoops. I'm going to go right to the end here because I'm pretty positive. And you'll remember when you do a recording, and you can see, like obviously here, like right in here, I wasn't saying anything. So I obviously stopped, or let's just see how I ended it.
Own journey, right? And that's how you find the overlap.
Let me just play that again.
Searching for, but then you can also kind of weave in your own journey, right? And that's how you find the overlap.
Okay, I'm going to cut it there. And yes, Bluefin made a good point. Sometimes to hide a jump cut, you could do a slight zoom in on the next clip. That's right, zoom in or zoom out. I often do that at the beginning. I didn't this time, but there's a couple things you can do here. This is the first 30 seconds, okay?
If you're struggling to get the views,
you know what I like to do here quite often is I will add a little animation. Watch this. Go to animation. No, I already had that selected. Custom animation right here. We'll drag that down. It's a little arrow, right? And all that does, it allows me to change the properties from here to here. And the property I'm going to change is the zoom, like Bluefin just mentioned. So let's come up here under properties and let's change the scale. Actually, I often just type it in. Let's go in 10%. Actually, no, let's go in more than that. Let's go in 120%. And I'll change this so you can see it all will fit. So now that's...
If you're struggling to get the views, you think...
Notice how it just zoomed in there. Now, I don't like the way it zoomed in perfectly. I actually want it to zoom in and come down a bit. One thing to remember, when you're zooming in or cutting in, you want to keep your eyes in the same place, okay? So, like for instance, here, my eyes are right here, but if you watch the zoom, watch the location with my eyes. It might be hard to see, but they rise a little bit. They go a little high, you know what I mean? And my head is cut off a bit. I want to lower myself a little bit, have my eyes right here, pretty much lined up with this little line right here. So let's go to the end. And now I'm going to click this and drag. Oh, I have snapping on, canvas snapping. I don't want that. So there. Now I can modify. So I'm modifying the end point. Okay, and I'm going to put it right around there. So if I zoom out, you can see it's a little bit moved down. So now let's see what that animation looked like.
Struggling to get the views.
I think it looks a little bit better. Not fast enough. So if I want to go faster, I'll make the arrow shorter. And I also want to change the easing to, yeah, auto's good. Auto's good. And I'm going to put it right at the very beginning. Let's see what that looks like.
If you're struggling to get the views.
Cool. You know what make it even cooler? A little sound effect. Let's go to media, to the library, and I've got one that I've saved in here, whoosh in. So I usually get these at Epidemic Sound, and but if you use the same ones over and over again, you can just save them and use them over again. So I'll drag this down here. That's the whoosh in sound. Let's play that.
If you're struggling to get the view.
Now that might have, here, let's zoom in a little further. Might have been a little bit loud too.
If you're struggling to get the...
Yeah, so if that's a little bit loud, I can lower it here.
If you're struggling to get the view.
Maybe even a little quieter. So there's a lot of trial and error, right?
If you're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get...
Notice how it jumped back out, because when I modified that zoom in location, that was only to this clip, and I had already made the cut here to this clip. So now everything else is where it was, but I might be able to vary it. So now you play it through, and like Bluefin said, you don't have to animate all these scale changes. You can just change it, and it'll jump to the new scale. I'll show you what I mean.
If you're struggling to get the views you think you should be getting on YouTube, struggling to get views, watch hours, subscribers, you're just kind of spinning your wheels and you're not getting ahead. Like,
actually, you know what? That's kind of a longer one. I like a slow zoom sometimes, so I can do that. Just varying things in the intro, right? So let's go back to my favorites and get this custom animation. For this slow zoom, I'm going to turn easing off. And I'm going to make it happen for the whole duration. But before I take it right to the end, I want to change the scale. And I'm just going to scale it in only 10% for the whole thing. Again, I'm going to lower this a little bit and take it to the end. See what that looks like.
For subscribers, you're just kind of spinning your wheels and you're not getting ahead like you believe you should be because you feel like you're making great.
Actually, I think that would look better if I zoomed way in farther. Let's go 140. No, too much. 130%. Drag it down a little bit.
Believe you should be because you feel like you're making great videos. Does that sound like you? If so, you might be making...
Okay, you get the idea? Play your whole intro through and kind of, some slow zooms in. Sometimes a slow zoom out as you're ending. Some jump in, jump out, stuff like that. Those are great ways to hide cuts, okay? If you weren't able to hide them with tighter edits. All right, just a little tip there that I didn't think I was going to get into, so thanks for the question there, Bluefin. This is way above my pay grade. I'm sorry, Arlene. Sorry about that. It's hard to, yeah, we've got people at all different levels in here typically, so that's just kind of the way it goes. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time on the intro. And then I know we're okay here to about 2 minutes.
And that's how you find the overlap.
Okay, don't want that.
So find the overlap between what you enjoy and what people are actually wanting to watch.
Do I want to keep
And
that?
I don't know who...
Yes, I do. So I'm going to cut that to delete that. Bring this up here, and then I'm going to cut that here. And then I'll cut this here. Make sure I cut that tight enough. I might not have. Let's go there. I could zoom in to make that easier, but okay, so let's just play that, make sure it sounds okay.
That's how you find the overlap. So find the overlap between what you enjoy and what people are actually wanting to watch. And I don't know who coined this frame, but it's called the passion.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Bonus points to you if you did, but I misspoke there. I should have said coined this phrase, but I said coined this frame. I don't know. I didn't notice it till I was editing. So when that happens, you don't have to scrap your whole video. Like, I'm not making a Hollywood movie here, right? If there's a mistake here and there, that's okay. So, but what I will do, I'll acknowledge the mistake and I'll put some text on the screen to correct myself. So let's just play that again.
And what people are actually wanting to watch. And I don't know who coined this frame, but...
Right there, coined this frame. Let's go get some text. Let's go get some text. I'll drag text down here. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that empty track on the bottom. We're not dealing with music here. So some text. It's really small. Let's make it bigger. Double click it. I want to go to text properties. I like using this Apple SD Gothic Neo one. Make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it bold. And let's who coined this phrase is what I wanted to say. So I always put an asterisk phrase. Just type it out like that. So I want that to pop up here somewhere like that.
Who coined this frame, but it's called the...
Back it up a bit.
This frame, but it's... I don't know who coined this frame, but it's called...
And I only need it to pop up for a little bit. Like, that's probably long enough. So I'll drag the ending there.
And I don't know who coined this frame, but it's called the passion trap.
Okay, look good. That kind of corrected myself. And I mean, you could go crazy with text. I did not in this video. I think that's the only text I put in this video. But then I just mentioned passion trap there. It's kind of a cool term. I could have put that in big letters on the screen too. I didn't. So it's kind of up to you.
What you want to make. Making videos on the things you love to do and what you want to make, and then you assume that...
Okay, so both of those are good takes. I just got to cut out the dead space.
What you want to make.
Split. So, yeah, did you notice? So, I'll just point out here. Actually, I'll just check the chat really quick. It's great to see this live. I spent so much time editing and have figured the basics on my own and wasted a lot of time doing that. You can waste so much time in editing. I'm self-taught, right? I mean, I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on how to do things. That's how you learn. YouTube. great way to learn. So anyways, yeah, let me show you what I do when I know I've either forgotten what to say or need to think about what to say next. I try to always finish a phrase by looking at the camera, and then I'll think, and then I'll look at the camera and pick it up again. So let's just see what I did here.
What you want to make,
Wait,
do, and what you want to make,
I'm looking at my notes.
and then you assume that people
Notice how I looked up and stared at the camera for a couple seconds before I started talking again?
want to make, and then you assume that people are just going to find you. Well, they're not.
Okay, so now let's just delete that, and we'll close this up.
What you want to make, and then you assume that people are just going to find you. Well, they're not going to. There's really no way. I mean, accidentally, maybe the odd person here and there might find you, but in the beginning especially, you
I
need
think we're okay out
to
here.
search. It might be almost identical, basically the same thing. You want to, but you just want to present it in your own way.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. I can almost tell by the way I finish a sentence that I know it was a good one, so we'll keep it. And then what did I do? Then I looked at my notes again. So let's pick it up right here, as tight as we can with the next one. So all through this, I guess the meat of this video, the main part of this video, I don't do any slow zooms, jump cuts, and all this stuff. I just don't worry about it. I mean, you can. It's more time consuming. Sometimes it looks better, but I'm really not too worried about it. Again, the look and the feel I'm going for when I'm making videos like this is I want it to feel conversational. I want it to feel like I'm having a conversation with you, one person. I'm trying to beat this into my head. I'm just talking to one person, and I want you to feel that I'm just talking to you. So if I'm jumping all around and there's text flying in and all this stuff, that kind of takes away from that authenticity, I feel. I mean, it's kind of I'm not an artist, but this is kind of an art, like, because you can do it so many different ways. And different editors have different ways they like to do things, right? You might have a different feel that you want. Barbara Worley, hello Barbara, good to see you. Dat Crafty Gamer, I learned watching YouTube videos too. Fun Fediani, it's great to see this live. Okay, yeah, I already read that one. Did I miss any other questions? I think this will help people respect the creator process even more, just seeing how much work actually goes into making a great video. Yeah. So again, like, I consider this video very lightly edited. I didn't do a lot of editing here. And that's why I was able to get this out from recording to published on YouTube, 3 hours. That was it. So if that's all it takes, I could do 2 of these every single day, like 14 videos a week. I'm not gonna, but because there are other ones that require more thought and, so.
Own way. And so another good way to kind of approach this is put data.
Let's go right to the end here.
Be guided by your passion.
And that. Yeah, I don't know how much more of this. Not going to keep that.
So, test.
Yeah, I messed up my voice there.
Test. Another strategy.
That's right, I remember that. I decided to use the word strategy instead of tactic, so I'm going to delete all of those. You remember these things. If you edit it shortly after you filmed it. And I just filmed this yesterday morning, so I remember that.
So try to be guided by the analytics and not necessarily only be guided by your passion. Another strategy you should be using.
That could be tighter, eh? I didn't think that was as... Oh, my Canadian is shining through there, eh? That could have been tighter. There we go. Let's take a little more off the other one too. So we'll delete both of these.
Guided by your passion. Another strategy you should be using is to hook your viewers in the first 30 seconds of your video. That might sound a little bit underhanded, but it's not. It's done in all videos that do well. When somebody clicks to watch your video,
The last one took 10 hours. Yeah, I've spent that one where I went through all my analytics, that took me like 4 days, but that was the filming too. It could take a long time. I'm not going to do a whole lot more of editing with this one. It's pretty much done, actually. Actually, yeah, no, it's just about done. There's only one more section I needed to get rid of. Right here.
or as quickly as you would like to, you can cut out little pauses and tighten it up a little bit when you're editing. Tighten it up a little bit when you're editing.
Okay, let's cut it there. Do I keep this?
The bottom line is you want to build curiosity in the viewer so that the viewer will want to watch the rest of your video.
I think I kept that. And then we'll come over here, cut that out.
And tighten it up a little bit when you're editing. The bottom line is you want to build curiosity in the viewer so that the viewer will want to watch the rest of your video. And so then once you get into the video and you're delivering on what it is, you know, you're solving whatever problem it is that the self, going back to the van life, and get to know what you look like. Okay, so yeah, put yourself in your videos, put yourself in your thumbnails, talk to the camera, all those fun things that people have trouble doing that I'm hopefully trying to help you with. So I think that's it for this video.
Okay, I'm starting the wrap up there. So let's add some music. I don't remember if I put some music in this video or not, but I usually do. So let's just go, let me go find a piece of music here, the one that I usually do. No, I didn't have a folder in there, so here we'll grab it from there. Epidemic sound. No, that's the wrong piece. Okay. There it is. Let's drag that down here like this.
So I think that's it for this video. I hope you find this helpful. Good luck.
That's too loud. So we drag this down maybe to 20%.
Hopefully trying to help you with. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you find this helpful. Good luck on your YouTube journey. And if you want any more help like this, if you want, I was going to say one-on-one, but it's not really one-on-one because live stream. I do live streams every Tuesday. So with that said, my name is Rob. I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning of this video. I'm Rob. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye guys.
See, I said bye, guys. I cut that out. I remember I cut that out. I just said...
And I'll see you in the next video.
That's where I stopped it. So, well, I mean, we can keep it.
All right, bye, guys.
Let's say I want to end it there. We'll drag those back there. I'm going to split the music there, and so that the music doesn't end abruptly, I add a audio fade out right here, one of these. Add that there. Let's zoom this up a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to drag this back here like this.
So with that said, my name is Rob. I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning of this video. I'm Rob. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye guys.
There we go. Zoom all out.
If you're struggling to get the view,
that video's done. So save it. I would have to give it a name and whatnot. So call that test. And yeah, we'll just save it right there. I don't even know why I'm saving this because I already made this. So it'd be interesting to see how long is this? 11:55. I think that's pretty much what the original one was. I'm just curious. I don't even know why it matters. 11:55, and the main one was 11:50. So there was 5 more seconds that you know what? I think it was this section here. That little section there. I don't think I kept that in the main one. Anyways, what'd you think? How was that? Then, of course, what I would do next is I would render that, right, to get the MP4, and then I would start to upload it to... Oh, no, there was one other thing I did. One other thing. Let me go back. I want to show you this. I should have done this at the beginning because now I'll have to do it and copy it to all the other ones. But Let's go back to the very beginning here. And this first clip, let's enhance the coloring a little bit, okay? A little bit of color grading. It's nothing too serious, but I do this to all of my videos. I will go, and where is it here? This here, color adjustment, drag that down here. Turns it to black and white. I don't know why that's the default, but if you go back to, so brightness, contrast, and saturation, if they're all 0, that's what you start with. And this is ingrained in my head because I do this to all of mine. I will go -6, bring the brightness down. 24, I bring the contrast up. Is that right? -6, 24, and 5. Saturate. Is that what I do? I'm opening another file here just to see, because that looks a little sharp. With that highlighted, -6, 524 is what I do. Okay. -6. Let's zero these out again. So -6, 5, just, yeah, and 24, a little brighter in the saturation. Although I find with reds that gets a little bit punchier, but anyway, that looks, but now, see, I did it to that clip, but it's not to that clip. And also, see what happens because of that animation? I have to make that change at both ends of that arrow. So all you have to do is go right click, copy properties, and then put the arrow back here, right click, paste properties. That did not work. Why not? Oh no, that's color adjustment, -6, 524. I just have to replace it here. -6, 524. Okay, so now it should be fixed. Yeah. Okay, and so now if I copy the color adjustment there, I can paste it here. And I don't have to redo it to all of them, but I have to paste that to all of the clips, right? So all of these, paste. How is that arrow affected? That's okay. What else did I forget? So these two, paste. You can put the playhead over so you can see what you're doing. Paste, see how it changes. Whoops. Let's zoom out a little bit more, see if we can get the rest of them. Paste. Okay, so all that extra work I had to do, had I done that color adjustment in the beginning before I cut it all up, then I only had to do that one time. Okay, but that I fixed it. So the coloring is color graded. That's all I do. I know you can do a whole lot more than that with DaVinci Resolve, but I find that's just way above my head. I think this looks fine. I use the same values too with these Sony cameras as I do with my iPhone. When I film outside the walk and talk videos with my iPhone, I do the same coloring and it looks pretty much the same. Yeah, so there you go. That's how I do that. Let me get back into the chat and see if there's any more questions. If you guys have any questions about anything I did here, now's your chance to ask, and I'll get into the chat and we can finish up there. I need to practice, yeah. Linda Hoffey just subscribed. Hooray! Welcome. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Maritime theme. All right, so just kind of, I'm actually going to go backwards, see if there's any questions here that I can, question. I'm about to hit, here, I'm going to scroll down here. I can do it this way. Oh, okay, I'll answer that one. Carmel, question, what do you mean render? In Camtasia, they actually call it export. That creates the video file, the MP4 video file that you can then upload to YouTube. When you're editing a video in a program like Camtasia or DaVinci Resolve or whatever you're using, iMovie, Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, Filmora, there's all kinds of them, InShot, there's all kinds of them. When you're editing, most of them, you then have to, like you can, if you just save that file, you're just saving the project file. You haven't actually created the video. You're basically saying how you want the video to be created by adding text here and cuts here and zooms here and all this stuff. You're kind of it's like giving the program a complete set of instructions as to what you want the final video to look like. When you're finished with the video editing, which means when you're finished assigning all the instructions, then you need to render or export your video. Every program that I'm aware of calls it render, except for Camtasia, they call it export. I don't know why, but yeah, so that's what it is. That when you render it, and actually, well, I'll show you. So here we are back in this file again. So if I just go File, Save, well, you saw me do that. It's saving it again. That saves the file in a location, and it's a .cmproj file, Camtasia project file. Okay, if I want to create the MP4 file, I have to go up here to Export, Local File. I want to export it as an MP4, test.mp4. It's going to be an MP4. I mean, I could export it as an MOV if I want to, or an animated GIF or GIF, whatever you call it. But I go into Options, and see, this dimension is, I usually have that set to current. So whatever I edited it as, which was 4K. The reason I had that this remembered 1080p is because I had just done a channel review for somebody this morning or yesterday, and I export those at 1080p, even though I rendered it, or no, sorry, not rendered. Even though I edited it and recorded it, I sound like I'm stuttering, in 4K. Okay, you can still then render at a lesser quality, which is what I did. But anyways, go back to current. So this will render in 4K. Okay for the options. Export. This is exporting or rendering. So now this takes time. Exporting movie. 0% complete or 1%. Yeah, this might take time. Hopefully I won't crash my computer because I got a lot of things going on right now, including eCam and live streaming, and all that is being done from this MacBook Pro. So that takes a little bit of time. And I've got a fairly good, fast computer. If you have an older computer, this will take even longer. Like this, for a half-hour long movie, it could take an hour to render something, depending on how much RAM you have, how fast is your processor, all these sorts of things, right? So as you can see, this is taking a little bit of time. But that's fine. Welcome, Dat Crafty Gamer. We've got a new crew member. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Awesome. That's great. So that is what rendering is. So I'll just, you know what? I'm going to cancel this. I don't need to do that. Abort. So that would have taken 10 minutes or so, probably. And then I would have had the MP4 file that I can then upload. So, yeah, awesome. Dat Crafty Center. Can you see now that your name is now green and you've got the anchor there beside you? Everybody who joins and becomes a crew member gets a custom badge beside their name. And of course, we'll get to join the private live streams that I'm going to have every 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. Haven't had one yet because I just launched this membership a week ago. So there you go. One of the newest members. I'm just impressed with everyone. I'm too lazy. I just do my editing on my phone. I hate being on my computer, on it all day for work. Fair enough. But I have never edited on a phone. I don't know that I could. I need reading glasses. And I mean, as it is, I do have a large phone. I've got the Pro Max iPhone. And I have a large screen because I can't even read that large screen without my reading glasses on. Like everything is blurry I can see distance. I can see anything. I can see very well, quite far away, but anything up front. So I don't know. I would have a problem editing on a phone, especially for the fine tuning. Maybe it's easy, and I guess it's something that you would get used to. If that's what you're used to, you probably get pretty good at it. I've just never tried it myself. All right. Yeah, I use this account more, so I joined with it, but I have subscribed on both my channels. Oh, very good. Awesome. Cool. All right. Funfetti Annie edits on her cell phone as well. Desktop is in storage. Very good. Very good. Yeah, no, that's, I'm impressed. If you can edit on a phone. All right, just looking for other questions. How can I make smooth cuts in editing? Just using Filmora 14, but any advice? Thank you. Yeah, so I've never used Filmora myself. I do want to try it, just see what it's like. I'd eventually like to have a little mini course of all the different editing software that's relatively popular. That's kind of like an end game. Like that's one of my goals for this year. For like by the end of the year to have half a dozen or so little mini courses on how to edit a video in iMovie, in Camtasia, in Filmora, like DaVinci, right? I've used 2 or 3 of them. Well, DaVinci and Camtasia are the 2 I know the most, the best, but they're all very similar. They're all very similar. So anyways, but yeah, how to make smooth cuts. I went over that a little bit as to what I do, but you can hide them with zoom effects, like slow zooms or, cut in, cut out, things like that. And then just make sure after the cut, when your next clip starts up, that it starts up just as the speaking starts. You want that to be a real tight edit, that one. That one's more important than the one that's ending, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, okay. So is the editing is similar to Camtasia? Yeah. Does the project file from Camtasia have the assets also to open on another computer? That's handled differently on a Mac versus on a PC. I'm now using on a Mac. I've been using a Mac for 2 years. But before that, I was a PC user. And I've used Camtasia for probably 10 years. On a Mac, the file that you save, yes, all the assets are in it. So you can copy and paste. You can copy that or upload it to Google Drive and open it on another computer, no problem. You can also export a Camtasia file to Windows, right? You can create a Windows version of it so that you can open that on Camtasia for Windows, okay, on a PC. But you can also just on a Windows Camtasia on a Windows computer, you can import a Mac file anyways. But then in that case, on a PC, all the assets are not stored in the file. In order to get them all in the file, what you have to do is you'd have to basically create a project zipped folder or zipped file that you can then import on another computer, PC or Mac. Okay, that might be a little bit convoluted. I hope I made a little bit of sense there, but yeah, basically on the Mac, all the assets are included in the file. And if you look at, if I come back here, here's my Finder window. If you can see here, yeah, there's the test file or the test file that I saved. The .cmproj, so that's Camtasia for Mac project file, okay? It's actually not a file, it's a folder, because in that folder are all of the assets, okay? All of the image files, or now, in this case, I only had an audio track and then a music audio track and then one video track, right? That's all I had in here. But if I were to add logos and images, sound effects, oh, there was a sound effects file too, yeah. So all of that is included, and any other images that I may have wanted to include, or any other B-roll that I wanted to add. That all gets saved in the Camtasia project file. On a Windows, you would have to export it to a zip file to include all that. Okay, so I hope that helped. How are we doing? So I'm going to be here at least another 10 minutes, just to let you know. At least till 4:30 my time, 3:30 Eastern. But if you guys keep having questions, I have no problem staying longer. So just to let you know about that. So with that, I'll just get back into the questions, see if there are any other ones. Oh, what editing software was that? That is Camtasia, and the cost, I believe, it's around $180 a year. So they've gone to a subscription model. And I believe you can still save 10% if you use my link down below. I have a link to Camtasia down below. I've worked with them in the past, and so yeah, you might be able to save some with that. How important are transition effects? Most people don't use them. Yeah, I don't use them very much anymore. So as you saw, I did not add any transition effects there. Like you could, so for instance, if I zoom into one of these cuts, Well, actually, one that might make the most sense at the very beginning, like when the intro stopped.
Strategy so that you start making videos people actually want to watch.
So right there, I might have, maybe I could do a fancy transition there. So if we go up to transitions, I mean, there's all kinds of them. Like, I think there's over 200, and I find them hard to even find. They do have a way, like I can look for 3D ones. So, for instance, card swap. Like you can kind of hover over them to see what they look like. Right? Or like a cube rotate or something like that. Yeah, so let's just go with something like this. And all you do is you would click this and drag it down and drop it between the two like that. Okay, let me zoom in. So now let's see what this looks like.
People actually want to watch. Probably the number.
Okay, I found that happened too quickly. So if you want to slow that down, you would just do this. Drag it out.
Actually want to watch. Probably the number one thing.
And you can even do it even more.
I know. Actually want to watch. Probably the number one thing.
So in this case, I was still talking when I started to disappear. So what I would probably do is, if I wanted to put this here, let's delete that. Let's add some more space here. I'd probably extend this a little bit like that, and even this part too. I'd probably extend this a little bit. And I'm taking note, oh, maybe that's too far. I'm taking note, I'm making sure there's no other audio coming in here, and it doesn't look like there is, so that's probably good. Now let's drag this back down again and stretch it out a little bit. See if that's any better.
Want to watch. Probably the number one thing.
A little better, I think. So yeah, you could. I don't use transitions very much at all. I find a lot of them gimmicky. And again, my way of making videos these days is keep it simple, just real simple. If there's a jump cut or like a cut that I need to hide and I need to get creative in the way I hide it, I might put a transition in there like that. Or if I change scenes, like let's say I'm walking on the trail and I'm filming myself, but then the next scene is going to be me in here, I might do a transition there because that's a big switch, right? But other than that, I typically don't do transitions very much. Do you recommend them or not? You never seem to use them. Oh, sorry, I don't know what we're talking about here. Let me go back up. Awesome video. Madrid Man, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Do I recommend them? You never seem to use them. About the transition effects. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Camtasia. I recommend Camtasia, yes, because I use it all the time. But yeah, no, transitions, it depends on the situation. Again, if you're switching scenes, then maybe use one. But even if you're using one, I typically don't get too complicated. Some of them look pretty gimmicky, I find. But it depends what look you're going for. Adil, hi Rob, do you have any tips about getting through intros? I'm trying to talk to myself beforehand by saying to the camera, hey, do you want to know a secret? That's a good idea. Any tips about getting through intros? So it takes me a long time to get through them. If you've watched this editing, you'll notice that I usually have a few false starts before I get going. You just have to say it several times. Like, I guess my main tip is keep the camera rolling, keep recording. And if you don't get it right, say it again, like say it several times until you're happy with the way it is. But you've captured all of that and you can delete everything at the beginning later. It's just, it would take too much time to keep getting up and stopping it and starting it and stopping it. And then, especially for me, I'm recording audio separately. So that's two things I'd have to stop and then two things I'd have to start up again. So that's my biggest tip. Oh, that's a good point, Ambient Dave. Adding transitions can make a less powerful computer struggle under the processing. That's right. Yes, it could. Very good point. Yeah. The more complicated you get with your edits, your computer needs to process all of that, all of those instructions, like I call them. Yeah, so even my slow zooms or yes, transitions, if you have animations like text flying in and like a whole bunch of text flying in at different different rates and all that stuff, that really slows down a computer and slows down the render time, right? If your video is if you've hardly done any editing to a video, the render time is faster. Intros are tough. Love your bloopers for the intro. I also go through 3 or 6 intros. Very good. Yeah. Sometimes I go through a lot more than that. Okay, which is why you don't do any of that. You have an older PC. I totally understand. Totally understand. Edward, I bought the 15mm f1.4 G APS-C large aperture wide angle G lens. Wow, that's a mouthful. I noticed yours is 16 mils. Will mine be okay for talking head, or is 1mm from your lens subtle? It's pretty close to the same. Just a different, so you just have a different model, I guess. It's very similar. So mine's 16, yours is 15, so yours is slightly wider, I guess. I think that's what that means. I'm not a photography expert, but yes, you're just slightly zoomed out a little bit more than me. If you don't want to be zoomed out that far, just bring the camera a little bit closer to you. That's all. And f1.4, that's what mine is too, so that'll give you a blurrier background. And obviously, the farther away the background is from you, the blurrier it will be. So there you go. Yeah, no, congrats. Sounds like a good lens. Okay, I'm just kind of scrolling up now. Oh, wouldn't it be easier to use a wireless mic to avoid recording extra audio? Yes, and I have one. I have a wireless mic, the DJI mic, but it does not, I've tried it. It does not sound as good as this mic, in my opinion. Now, I could probably modify it a little bit more in Adobe Audition. Well, no, not, yeah, in a recording, not live. And I did a test in a live stream, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, where I had that one plugged into my computer so that you could hear the difference between the wireless mic and this mic, and there was quite a difference. But when used outside, that mic is awesome because outside there's no echo whatsoever. This room, there's a little echo. It's not too bad. It's better with this mic than the wire. Well, actually, any mic that's closer to your mouth is better. So this mic is, what is it? It's about that far away from my mouth when I'm here. And obviously, if I get further away, I sound like I'm farther away, right? So, but if I wanted to get up and walk around this room, then it would be best to have the wireless mic on, for sure. Okay. Oh, sorry, missed this question. How do you make the tracks larger so an old lady can see them? So back here, back to Camtasia. So to make the tracks, so yeah, this slider is the zoom in and out in the timeline. Okay, zooming in and out. To make the tracks taller or shorter, it's this one over here. You drag that up or down like that. That changes them all. But you can also change them individually. If you just kind of hover here, right, you can just drag it up and down, make them taller or shorter. And I mean, you can have, I've had as many as 20 or more tracks before. If I have a whole bunch of different text, if I'm building a menu or something in a video, yeah, you can really stack text on top of each other, and you can then group them together to kind of clean up your timeline if you want, but that's how you do that. Sorry, I missed your question, and I probably missed other ones. I know I did. Just plain cuts is what I use, yeah. Here's a question. I am against doing, oh, where'd it go? I'm against doing shorts, but I heard doing one short a month is a good idea to help new channels. Yeah, so, okay, I'm not an expert in this, but I have done some. I haven't done shorts since, I'm going to say September-ish, or maybe October. It's been October. I know there's a video in October that I made some shorts from. It's been a while. I haven't made them since then. My thing is, making shorts and making long form videos are two separate things. yeah, you can make them in the same editing software, and the same, the same skills are required, but there's different audiences. Okay, so those who are going to watch long form videos aren't the same people who are going to watch short form videos. Typically, yes, there's some overlap, but not a lot. So my experience with shorts is when I had a video do well, a long form video do well, I basically chopped it up and made a whole bunch of shorts from it. Some what I thought were interesting parts of the video, and I made like 8 to 10 shorts, and I put them out one every couple of days for a couple of weeks, or one a day at one point I was doing. And did they bring in some subscribers? Yeah, a few, but not very many. And I'd get maybe a couple thousand views, which sounds great. But with shorts, I mean, if we're talking about what earning potential, you need to be getting like hundreds of thousands or millions of views with shorts to make any decent amount of money. I think I'm at if I look at this, no, that's gone there. Let me bring up my YouTube studio. Just give you an idea. Of course, I will have to share this with you, so we will press that button. So if I go into content, and what am I doing? Shorts. Here we go. So yeah, October 11th was the last time I did a short, and you can see the views. 4,000. So that one's getting some views, but still, 4,000 views. That sounds great, doesn't it? I was monetized when I put that video out there, and but let's just look at the analytics. So for 4,000 views, I've earned 83 cents total. That's total. And there was a big spike here, and then it grew over time. If you want to see how the money was paid out, so I made 55 cents in the first 5 days, and in the last, how long has it been? November, December, January, February, 4 months. 4.5 months, it's gone from 55 to 83. So another 30 cents. Okay, so yeah. So I don't make shorts to boost my revenue. When I made these, I was thinking, well, maybe I could get some more viewers, bring some more subscribers in from people who watch shorts. And again, if I look at this, let's go back to analytics. I don't know why I left there. There. So with 4,000 views, I've gained 11 subscribers. And you can see how many I gained over time. In the first 6 days, I gained 8 subscribers with 4,000 views. And then I've had 3 more in the last 4 months. So not a lot. And it's still getting decent views. 49 views in the last 48 hours. Okay? So that's not too bad. But if you compare that to a video, if we go to a video, so that's 4,000 views. Let's just look at a video from back then, this December. I don't know. Well, here's one, 4,000 views, December 6th. Let's look at that one. Analytics. $38. So it's a lot. It's magnitudes more. Okay? $38, and you can see in the first 5 days, I made $25 from this video with the same amount of views as a short. Okay, so you make a lot more. And the subscribers, that's what I wanted to point out, 47 as opposed to 11. Okay, that's pretty typical. That was interesting, had a little bump there. So yeah, I don't, and now that's what I just showed you is not necessarily the same for everybody. That's the way it's been for me. But I'm focusing on making good long form videos. I'm working on my hook. I'm working on retention. I'm working on my thumbnails. Like all those things are different when you're making shorts. It's just a completely different audience that you're trying to reach. People, if they're not interested in the video, they'll know by 3 seconds in. In 3 seconds, boom, you're gone. Swipe up, right? A lot of people watching these shorts on mobile phones. So yeah, so there you go. But having said that, yes, you can bring in some. And if you put out, I think you mentioned if you do one a month or so, maybe that would help. I think in the beginning, yeah, maybe it's a good idea. It's just another way to get you out there. If you're struggling getting new subscribers, getting eyeballs on your videos, that's one way. It's a shotgun approach. You put yourself out a bunch of different ways. I'd even go so far as to say, if you're going to make a short, right, make sure that it can also be a TikTok and an Instagram reel and a Facebook reel, and put that same video up on all platforms, right? Then, you're maximizing what you could bring in. But again, having said that, I once your channel gets going, I don't feel like Shorts is going to help grow a predominantly long-form video channel. A channel where somebody is focused on shorts and that's what they want to get good at, then, stick with that. Then perhaps long-form videos may not be your thing, right? So I look at them as two different things. So anyways, I hope that helped. Yes, I've noticed that too. I think I've seen people link a short directly to their long form. So you click the short's title and the long form pops up and starts playing. I would love to know how that's done. I think you do that in the description or when you upload a short. I don't remember. Because yeah, I think that was the same with me too. I think I did that. I just don't remember exactly how. If I go back to shorts, I'm going to share what I'm doing here. Go back to shorts. If I go into editing, so title, description, if we go down here, automatic chapters, featured, tags, didn't do much there. Category, I don't see anything here. Oh, here we go, related video. There's how you do it. So good fiberations. So there you go. When you upload your video, and you can probably set this while you're uploading the video, but if you didn't, you can go back in right to here, related video. So YouTube is in easy mode. That is the video that I took this little snippet from, this 43-second section from that video. You just put it in there, related video. There you go. Now I know how to do it too. I knew, I guess, in October how to do it, but I forgot. I haven't done it since then. Okay, how do you add a link in the video, a link that takes the viewer to one of your previous videos? You do that in the description. You would go, oh, wait now, no, sorry. You're talking about like when somebody says, I made a video about, thumbnails before, and I'll leave a link up above here for you to click to see that video. You're talking about that, I think. So here's where you go. Go to your video, the video that you found that you're talking about. Go to edit the video, and you scroll down, and it's over here. Cards, it's called. So click on cards, and so I did one here. I added, so you can add a card. In this video, yesterday's video, I added a card at 4 minutes and 31 seconds in. And then you can click here and select which video you want to put there. Okay, I selected the one, I forget which one it was. A thumbnail video. That's how you do it. Then you click save. I don't have to click save because I didn't make any changes. So discard changes. That's where it is right there, cards. All right. Has your channel gone through periods of almost no views? I'm kind of going backwards with the questions, just so you know. So if you've asked one that's up above, I'll get to you. Has your channel gone through periods of almost no views or very limited views? My channel seems to be in YouTube Gaol or YouTube prison at the moment. For some reason, views dropped off 2 weeks ago. I did when I stopped posting, right? Not lately. So lately, I'm fairly consistent. I'm posting 2 to 3 videos every week, and yeah. So no, there are views keep coming in. If I were to stop, like a year ago, I was just about to start up posting videos again, but I had been silent for I think 8 months or something like that. And yeah, views would absolutely drop off. Every video typically gets a lot more views in the beginning and then kind of tails off, unless it's an evergreen video that people are going to want to see more and more of, right? I made a video which turned into an evergreen video on how to create or how to set up your YouTube channel. Made that in September, and just to tell you what I think an evergreen video is, and show you what the difference is. Like if we go back to September, I have to go down here, 50 videos. It was September 30th, this one here. Well, let's pick the one before. So let's see, it's got 121,000 views. It's doing really well. Let's go to the one before that, how I make my walk and talk videos. Let's go to the analytics. That's pretty typical. A big spike up at the beginning, okay? And then it'll start to level off. All right, so not getting near as many views on a day-by-day basis now. I've gotten, on this video, has had 18 views in the last 2 days, okay? But in the beginning, it had 2,500 views, 2,200 views in the first 3 days, all right? But then it leveled off. That's pretty typical of most of my videos, okay? Sometimes it spikes up higher, and as your channel grows, I find as my channel is getting more and more subscribers, that initial rise goes higher, right? Every time I come up with a new video, not every time, but you know, the bar just keeps getting raised, right? So, but now let's look at the video. So look at that graph, and now let's look at the video before that, the September 30th video, which was here, which is an evergreen video, that's what it turned into. Look at the analytics of that one. See the difference? So if we only looked at the beginning here, it did the same thing. Had a little bit of an up, and then it leveled off. But then YouTube started testing it and testing it. And it's like, you know what? People are liking this. Let's put it out to more and more and more and even more and even more. And now, like 2,800 views the last 2 days, this video. It gets better and better. And now it's kind of leveling off, not leveling off, but the rate of increase has leveled off, but it's still like this. It's not flat, okay? This is an awesome video. And you can see the revenue, $1,500 from this one video since September. That's awesome. You want evergreen videos. So you actually want a mix of both evergreen and, you know, for lack of a better term, trendy videos. Ones that if people see the titles, like, oh yeah, I want to see that. But then maybe if you do really well with one, then maybe a bunch of other creators do a similar video, and then, you know, that'll run its course, and then it's not so trendy anymore. YouTube is in easy mode. That was a trend, okay? Maybe not as much anymore, but a lot of creators had a lot of good videos do well, or a lot of videos do well with that keyword. Okay, so anyways, I hope that helped explain the difference. I'm going to make a video on evergreen videos at some point. That's on my list to do. Okay, I want to scroll back up because I know I missed some other questions. Let me just see. I'm kind of all over the place now. Yeah, that's a good point. Your evergreen content is amazing proof that this might be the way to go for growth. Absolutely. So like I would love to create an evergreen video every couple of weeks, right? Something that, and when I think of evergreen, I think of something that people will typically search for. So there was another one that I had, didn't do as good as that one, but it still did well. How to create chapters in your YouTube video. Right? So that was another one that, so if we go back here, that's even older. That goes back to last April. So if I scroll all the way down here, let's go find it. Is it here? No, it's even before that. So at the time, here it is right here, this one. So April 3rd of last year, it's up to 27,000 views. See how much better it is than all the other ones I was doing at the time? Right, so again, let's look at this one, pro level zoom and pan. No, let's look at this. Was a fun one. Clone yourself. 900 views last April. That's what it looked like. Little spike in the beginning, and then leveled off. Okay, below average. It's had 1 view in the last 2 days. So if I go back, so that was the cloning yourself one. right here. Now the next one that turned into evergreen, let's look at that analytics. There you go. It did the same thing here, right? It had, what was the other one up to? 900 views? This one got to 900 views by June. And now look, it's just going up and up and up. Now, not to the same scale as the other one, but still 140 bucks. That's not bad and it was a short video. It was 4 minutes and 42 seconds. It's not a very hard thing to do. So every once in a while, I'm going to make a video showing you guys how to do something simple like that. A couple weeks ago, I made a video on how to unmirror yourself, right? People will take selfie videos and then they're mirrored, right? The text on their shirts is backwards. So I made a short little video to show you how to fix that. In my mind, I'm thinking that could turn into an evergreen video. I don't think it has yet, but you know, it's got potential, I think. So, and if I go back to the beginning here, it's this one right here. Fix this. Your videos are backwards, okay? So if I go into the analytics of that one, so 2,000 views, which is pretty good, because again, my channel is much larger now than it was last April, so it's going to get better results in the beginning, but it's leveled off. Not level, it's still going up a little bit, but I would not be surprised to see this one start to go up like this and turn into an evergreen. If people, you know, it's also a short one, 4.5 minutes long. So you never know. You never know. So every couple of weeks, I put out a video, something like that, in the hopes that it will go evergreen. All right. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me just, I'm just looking at the chat here to see if I missed anything. Getting thirsty. How about we cut this off at 5 o'clock, like top of the hour? So another 13 minutes. Does that sound good? There's still 75 of you here. Wow, am I that interesting? Thank you for sticking around. These are long. I know. I keep saying let's keep these to less than 90 minutes or less, but I can never do that. Can a channel be only successful if it teaches a viewer something? If a person isn't interested, okay, I'm going to highlight that one and put it on the screen. That's a good question. Where'd it go? Here we go. So Heather, can a channel only be successful if it teaches a viewer something? If a person isn't interested in tutorial videos, how do they grow? That's a good question. Really good question, because and actually, I think I just recently made a video, something like that. Yeah, yesterday's. Struggling with YouTube, you're making the wrong content. You're making content for yourself, not for others. Is kind of the same thing here. I get it. Not everybody can make tutorial videos, sharing your screen. Like, that's a different skill, and I've been doing it for many years. So it's kind of easy for me, but I understand that's not everybody's thing. But there are other ways to help people. And that's why I say, like, and in yesterday's video, I used the example of somebody starting a van life channel, okay? They want to document their life living in a van and driving across the country and how they make their supper and everything about that. With just a subtle mindset shift, you can turn that into a channel that helps people. And they don't have to be tutorial type where you're showing your screen and how to do things, but it can be like showing people how to do things like outside. Like, how do you build a fire outside? Like, in this video, I'm a van lifer. In this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly make a campfire so that you can make your supper or whatever at a campsite, something like that. And then that's the title of your video. That's what you're going to show them. But in the process of showing them in your video, you're going to be showing your van life, right? You're going to be, maybe show yourself drive up, and I think I'm going to make my fire over here. And everything that you say in the video I should stop myself right there. I've not made vlogs. I'm not a vlogger. I've not made any vlogs, which that's the type of video those are. And so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But if I were to make a video like that, and I probably will, because I just want to grow myself too. I want to be able to make different types of videos. I just want to try it, see what it's like. But I already know that it's going to be harder because it's going to be more time consuming, more different angles, more shots, more editing is going to be involved to make a video like that. But that said, any type of thing that you want to show your life, maybe it's a stamp collection, maybe it's a bottle collection, maybe it's you're interested in Pokemon or whatever it is, resist the temptation to just show what you have and what you like, and you know what I mean? Because then it's like a show and tell thing, like kids do in first grade. Bring their favorite toy to school and tell their friends all about it. Okay, well, interesting, yeah, but I'm not interested in that thing, so why do I have to listen to this boy talk about that, right? That's what it kind of turns into, and that's why people who have these types of vlog channels sometimes have a harder time growing their channel. Because you're not really helping anybody with anything. You're just showing people things, your life. So yeah, if you can turn that around and help people solve problems while doing that. So in other words, there's got to be overlap there somewhere. That'll help your channel. Failing that, if you can't help people with anything, if there's nothing helpful about what you want to put in your videos so that people won't be helped in any way by what you're going to show, then I think you've got to go the entertainment route. I'm Canadian, remember? Route. We say route. Got to go the entertainment route. And that would be like, I don't know, I think of Mr. Beast or anybody that, like comedy skits, right? Now you're getting into shorts. A lot of shorts are entertaining. I like watching when people scare other people. I like those shorts. They make me laugh. You know, to me, that's entertaining. But is that the kind of content I make? No, it's not. I mean, I suppose I could try, but I would probably try really, really, really hard and the joke would fall flat. I wouldn't be good at it. I'm not that entertaining, I don't think. So I think that is a much harder way to try to grow a channel, unless you're naturally talented in something, gifted in that. Like even, so I talked to a gentleman last week, or was it earlier this week? Last week, who has a guitar channel and wonderful guitar player and singer, and has made videos of himself playing and singing, and they sound amazing. But he's having trouble getting to grow his channel, and it's because he's not really helping people with anything. So what we've kind of talked through is if you can kind of turn this around and kind of help people with something. And for him, the suggestions I had were things like you're filming yourself, you know, and recording yourself playing the guitar and singing. You're obviously capturing all this audio in different ways, in stereo no less, like there was stereo going on. How do you do that? Like, I think a lot of people who watch YouTube would go and see that channel, and they're not going to go there just to typically watch somebody play guitar and sing, no matter how good he is. But what they might be interested in is if they want to do the same thing, right? They might want to know, how did he do that? How does he record? What equipment did he use to record that? How does he light himself up? How does he make sure he's in frame? Like, now you're getting into kind of what I'm doing and trying to help people make YouTube videos. Well, he's making YouTube videos. He's doing them quite well. He's not getting the traction. But if he can start helping other people with things they might be interested in, that's when he might be able to grow his channel. And if he doesn't want to get into that, then other things he could help with is how to play the guitar. Maybe he could offer some free chord books, or these are the chords you need to learn to play rock songs or whatever, right? Helpful things like that. So anyways, I'm probably talking in circles here, so I don't want to take up any more time, but that those are my thoughts on that. I think being helpful is a whole lot easier than being entertaining. But that's just me. That's not everybody. So that's just why that's the angle I've gone with the way I'm trying to help people and the way I'm making my videos. So yeah, maybe if I was more entertaining or had more of a skill. But no, even then, if I was really good guitar player, piano player, whatever, I would still probably, if I wanted to grow it into a business, I'd want to switch it around and try to help people do what I'm doing. I think that's the key. Okay. when you are a smaller channel, under 1,000 subscribers, I assume, how do you measure in your analytics what realistic good metrics are? Views, watch time, etc., until you get going. Good question, because, so let me tell you this. What I consider good views and subscribers today is a whole lot different than what I thought was good a year ago. And that's because my channel's grown, okay? So there's really no right answer to that, and I hate giving that as an answer, but it's true. You really have to compare your videos to your other videos. So when you come out with a new video, you have to measure it against what you already have on your channel, okay? So if you already have 20 videos, say, and then you come up with another one and it goes to number 1 out of your last 10, that's a metric that they show you in YouTube Studio on your homepage. It's outperforming all of your other videos before that. So I always try to strive to keep getting number 1s, like with every video. I know not every video is going to be that, especially if I'm trying to make an evergreen video that I know may not be popular with my subscribers today, but it might be something other people may search for in time. So when I make a video like that, I know it's not going to, do awesome out of the gate. Yeah, measure against your previous videos, and then you have to get into the analytics. And like, again, also, there's no right click-through rate. Like, what's a good one? What's a bad one? I typically say anything less than 2% is not great. If it's 5% or more, then that's pretty good. But the reality is, if you're used to getting 10% click-through rates, and then you get a video and it's 6%, it's not as good as your other ones. So now look at your your thumbnail and your title, and why did that one not do as well as your other ones? Look at the other thumbnails and titles, and figure out what's working and try to do more of that. So it's really all about comparing to yourself, to the videos you already have, the thumbnails you already have. Yeah, so that's what I've got to say about that. I hope that helped. Ambient Dave, it's all about experimenting with different content. The analytics will soon tell you. Yep, absolutely. Question from the Drakes, do you ever go back to change and update your thumbnails or on your older videos? Let me just pop this up here. I may have last year. I haven't in the last year, no. Sometimes I will not be unsure as to what text I want to put on a thumbnail, and then I'll do the A/B test thing. I'll upload both, and then I'll have YouTube run them both 50-50 for, I don't know, like 12 hours, or the first 12 hours, the first 6 hours, whatever it is, and then I'll look in at it again, and if there's a clear winner, I'll stop the test and I'll go with that one. But other than that, I don't go back. No, I've heard of people doing that. Ed Lawrence, I think, made a good video on, was it him or was it Nate at, what's his channel called again? Channel Makers, I think, Nate, made a video about that, and went back and changed all his thumbnails, and all of us turned them right around. They did really well. Yeah, there's some proof out there that can work, but I've not done that. My approach has always been, once I've uploaded a video, it's there, it's done. I'm off to the next one now. I'm thinking about what I'm going to make next, and how to make it better, right? Because there's not a lot you can do to a video once it's up there, except for change the title and change the thumbnail. So yeah, but no, I rarely, if ever, make changes to that. I could, like, if I look at my thumbnails now, my older ones, I don't like them anymore. I don't like them at all. The old quick tips ones that I did back 3 years ago or whatever, I could redo those, but I'm thinking, like, what's the point, right? Like, those aren't getting anywhere near the views that my current ones are getting, so I'm just kind of focusing on the next one. I can put out a video tomorrow. That's right, it's already 5 o'clock here, and I don't have a video for tomorrow yet, but I want to. And, if it does well, it could have 3,000 views by the end of the day. Whereas the videos I put out 3 years ago don't have that many views in 3 years. And I don't see, because of what the content was back then, I don't see a better thumbnail really boosting it that much. So yeah, there you go. I hope that helps. Lee's got to go. No problem, Lee. Thanks. I'll have you set up as a moderator for next week. Thank you for that. I don't think we had any problems today, though, did we? Nobody had to delete or block or anything. Greg's preparing to shoot his first video. Awesome. Good luck with that and have fun. What do I think about iMovie for new creators? I think it's a great idea. I want to get into iMovie myself, only because I know it's on my Mac, because it comes for free on all Macs, and I've never used it, but I should. I think it only makes sense for me to recommend iMovie, as long as, and I don't know why it wouldn't be good enough, because it's there. It's free. You know, when people ask me what video editor should I use, I would typically start with use what you have, if you have something, and if you've got a Mac, you've got iMovie, I would suggest that. Other than that, you just kind of have to pick one. Some have free trials, like DaVinci Resolve has a free version. Camtasia has a free trial. But yeah, you just kind of have to pick one and go with it, because they're all very similar. Similar in that they'll do the same thing. But once you learn one, I don't think it's that difficult to switch over to another one. The keyboard shortcuts will all be different, but there you go. There you go. Hi, Lee. Bye, Lee. Hi, Rob. Hi, Mel. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Mel's in New Zealand, I think, if I remember correctly. I was testing my memory. Nearly bedtime for you. 9 p.m.? Was it 4 hours ahead? Okay, so you're probably... Oh, in the UK, yes. I was going to guess where you were, but you said it right there. From comfort to confidence. Hi, Rob. I feel like my niche doesn't have an audience. I've been posting for 2 months and I am barely getting traction. Yeah, so try something new. Are you helping people? Are you making content that helps people? That's usually the first thing I ask. And if you are, what's not working? Are people not sticking around to watch your videos, or are people not even getting to your videos? If they're not even getting there, then maybe it's your thumbnail and title that need work. So take a look at your CTR, your click-through rate of your thumbnail and your titles, and that'll give you an idea. Again, if it's like 2% or less, then that's not great. That probably means you got to come up with better either titles or thumbnails that people will actually click. But if people are clicking and they're getting in there, but they're dropping off right away, if your retention graph like goes down quickly, then you need to look at your hook in your video. Like say something in the first 10 to 15 seconds. You got to be kind of rapid fire, quick. This is what I'm going to tell you in this video, and maybe even show them a little bit of what you're going to show them later on. You can even like copy a bit from later and put it in the beginning. Maybe have some nice music at the beginning. Nice. I mean, why'd I say nice? It could be whatever music you want, whatever fits your vibe, the look and feel you're going for your videos. And then have a little intro like that. And then once that's done, after only 10 seconds or so, say, hi, I'm comfort to confidence. How you, whatever. And then get into it. So yeah, just some things, some ideas, but it's all about testing, trying new things and seeing what works. Maybe I could film myself learning iMovie. That's an interesting idea. That's a very interesting idea. Maybe I'll do that. That sounds like it. Yeah, that sounds like there would be a lot of mistakes. Maybe that's a live stream. No, I feel like I would need to know something about it. Like I've never even opened it. So that might be awful boring for you guys watching me struggle through that. And as far as making a video about that, there would be a lot of stuff I'd have to cut out. But there's something there. There's something there. That might be a good idea. iMovie is fantastic and free. Yes. Mel is in New Zealand. Yes. Okay. Ted Runyon, YouTube just recommended me to you. I'll be 40 this year. I've wanted to make videos for years and haven't done it. Seriously considering it though, finally. You should do it. As long as you enjoy doing it. Do it if it's fun for you. It's got to be fun. It's got to be fun or you'll give it up. That's what people do. They'll the biggest problem with people not becoming success, I'm going to completely word this wrong, but I've heard a quote before. People who are not successful with YouTube, they're not successful because they gave up too soon. Basically, is all it is. If you enjoy it and you enjoy the whole process, the testing, the looking at your analytics, seeing what works, make another one like that, that whole thing, and then you move on to another video. If you like all of that, then it'll never feel like work, and you will grow. You just will. If you are actively trying to get better as you go, it'll come. It's something anybody can do. Pav Apal, hey Rob, when you record your screen, that an app called Camtasia. So Camtasia, I actually don't use Camtasia to record my screen. I use Camtasia to edit my videos. But when I'm recording my screen, yes, I could be using Camtasia, but the reason I don't stems back from me using Camtasia on a PC. When you use Camtasia on a PC, you can't launch a copy of Camtasia screen recorder to record another copy of Camtasia running. Does that make sense? It's just it's just a lot for the computer to have to do. So I got used to using OBS to record my screen. I could also use Ecamm Live to record my screen. That's something a lot of people do. But I still have OBS on my computer, so that's what I've gotten used to doing that. I launch it, it's a click to start recording, a click to stop, and it records my whole screen, this screen down here. And it creates a video, an MP4 file. I then bring that into Camtasia. I actually don't use Camtasia to record anything, even though you can. I record my screen with OBS, I record my camera with the onto the SD card in this camera or in that camera, whichever one I'm using, or in my iPhone, right, just on the hard drive in the iPhone, and I record the audio in my computer through this mic and the audio interface. And I bring all those things together into Camtasia, sync them all up, and edit. So that's my process. Just want to know what app to use to record the screen? OBS is free. Ecamm Live is not free, but you can do a lot more with, well, no, OBS is also a live streaming tool, but there you go. Why don't I do, one last thing here. I'm going to do a quick search on QQQ. See what I might have missed. And go right to the bottom. And yeah, so the people who asked questions here might already be gone. Okay, here's a question. Honestly speaking, I have just started my YouTube adventure and put up a video. You are right, I definitely wasn't happy with it. But what advice can you give to help me avoid sounding robotic or stiff? Practice. So what I do, or what I did when I first started, is I would sit in front of the camera, I'd press record, and I would start talking to the camera. First time I listened to it back, I hated my voice too. I was robotic, I was monotone, I was just talking like this, and I was, you know what I mean? So then I just practiced. I would exaggerate, my voice, the inflections and whatnot. Like, so I'll just read what you've got here with exaggerating my voice. I have just started my YouTube adventure and put up a video. Okay, you are right. I definitely wasn't happy with it, but what advice can you give to help me avoid sounding robotic or stiff? Okay, so that was exaggerated. I am not an actor, but I have done voiceovers a lot for people through my freelancing business that I used to do. So I guess I have practice with that. But if you can do stuff like that just for fun, play it back, see what it sounds like, do it again, maybe with a little less exaggeration. Eventually you'll find something you like. But it has to be something that you can do relatively easily, that's kind of yourself. Because the easiest person in the world to be is yourself. It's hard to act like somebody else. But I feel like the voice inflections like that, that's just something you could probably work on and get better at. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I hope that helped. Dat Crafty Gamer didn't use QQQ, so I guess maybe I missed one of your questions. Oh, I just saw it pop up here. I don't suppose you can offer much advice on a gaming channel. I started this channel in 2016 and I have come and gone because I struggle to figure out how to appeal to more people. Yeah, so that's a tough one. So my son has a gaming channel. He's 26. He games with his friends. He's not doing it to make money I think he makes a little bit, but not very much. That's not his goal. That's how he relaxes when he's not working. Plays with his friends and stuff like that. But he streams. He streams it. And we've talked about it a lot. Like if I would say like, hey, if you ever want to grow that, you have to figure out how to, like how to appeal to more people. I actually honestly tell him like, start making YouTube videos that help people. That might help. In my mind, I feel like gaming content, that's entertainment, right? That's not necessarily helpful stuff. So that goes back to what I said 30 minutes ago or so. And that if I find it a lot easier to grow a channel if you're being helpful in some way than it is to be entertaining. Because you have to be, I don't know, naturally entertaining some way. And gaming is just that. I don't like anytime I don't game now, but whenever I used to play video games, like I think it would be hard to talk as I played the game, maybe? I don't know. And yeah, I guess I'm kind of spinning my wheels here. I don't really know what to tell you. I guess don't be quiet. Like talk your way through it. Tell people what you're doing. Answer questions. I don't know. Like I really don't know. That's not really my specialty, so I don't know if that helps a lot. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what else to help. You got to be entertaining somehow. So whether it is, I think some people, if they get killed in a game, they'll jump up and down and start, I don't know, punching a punching bag or something. I don't know, like something like that people laugh at. That might help, things like that. But or I suppose from the helpful side, if you're playing a game where you can actually help people go to different levels and things like that, that might help. Like say, in today's stream, I'm not going to just play this game. I'm going to show you how to do this, this, and this. So stick around to the end, and then you'll know how to, get this special thing. Or I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if that helps. If that might generate some ideas for you. Okay. I have used Audacity. Yes, I used it once when I made the course, my starter course. I recorded myself recording myself in Audition, and I used Audacity to record myself recording myself. Right. So, but that's really the only time. So I'm not an expert in that at all. But I know you can do a lot of the same things as you can do in Audition, which is what I'm used to. Love, hate, and food. I'm about to hit 500 subs, but I heard this week that YouTube stops promoting your videos after 1,000 subs. Is that true? No. And YouTube doesn't promote videos. Well, YouTube, I mean, yeah, so it's just a wording thing, I think. Like, YouTube, it's like they don't pick channels to promote. Videos will do well or not based on their own merit and the thumbnail and title of that video, okay? And it really has nothing to do with how many subscribers are attached to the channel that video's in. It has nothing to do with that. So actually, I don't know if you saw, but I had a live chat with Maggie McCormick from Australia a couple weeks ago. Or was that just last week? Might have been just last week. She has a relatively new channel, and I think she was at maybe 1,000 subscribers at the first of this year, and maybe 3,000 subscribers at the end of January. So that's pretty good growth. But then all of a sudden, she came out with a video that the last I checked was up over 3 million views, and she went from like 3,000 subscribers to I think 140,000 subscribers in like 2 weeks. Amazing, right? So YouTube didn't stop promoting that video. that video is just doing amazing on its own because it's an awesome video, and she's just very good. You guys should watch that video. Look up Maggie McCormick, and yeah, YouTube is not going to help you get subs. That's exactly right. That's a good way to put it. The only people if people like your video and they want to see more from you, they'll subscribe. That's how you get subs. That's it. So you have to make videos that people want to watch. The easiest thing to do is to make videos for people who you can talk to, like whatever you have to define who you're making videos for. Like, who are you making videos for? Now, what questions would those people have? What problems do they have that you can maybe solve with a video? Make a video that solves a problem for them. And if you keep making videos for that same group of people, YouTube will get better and better at locating those people for you. And the new subs that you get and the views that you get will just keep increasing as long as you just stick with that niche. As soon as you make a video on something completely different, that won't help, because the people who are used to your first content might notice that you've got another video, but they're saying, like, why is he talking about this now? Or why is she talking about that? That's not what I thought they meant. You might lose subscribers that way, actually. So yeah, there you go. Okay, I think I got back to that. Okay, I am, so 5 minutes, and then I'm out of here. All right. So I did see another question up here. Are you live streaming on your DSLR camera? The quality is great. Can you explain how, if you are? Yes, I am. So this is a Sony A6400 camera, and it is HDMI out. I've got a wire plugged into the HDMI out port, and it's going into, I have an A10 Mini, which is a video switcher. If you don't have one of those, then you would need like a capture card, like a Cam Link, something like that, that it would plug into, and then that would plug into your computer. In my case, it would have to plug into a dock. I've got all my ports all plugged up in the computer. So yeah, the camera's plugged into that, which is plugged into my computer. And yeah, so that's it. That's a DSLR camera. The mic is up here. It's plugged into an audio interface, also plugged into the computer. And that's it. Camera, mic, Ecamm Live software that kind of controls everything. Share my screen as well, and that's it. That's how you live stream. That's how I live stream. There's many different ways. But yeah, with this A10 Mini, it's a 4-port HDMI switcher, so that if I had other like sometimes I'll plug that camera into port number 2, so that I could press a button and switch to that camera's angle. I didn't set that up for this one though. Yeah, so that's how I do that. Wow, you're still streaming. Yeah. I'm starting to get tired though. I'm gonna have to stop this soon. Yeah, and by soon I mean right now. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I have fun doing these. Or otherwise I wouldn't be sticking around so long. So this is almost 3.5 hours. I promise next week's will be shorter. Thanks for sticking this out with me. I hope I helped in some way. If you have any other questions when this live is done, you won't be able to put them in the chat, but you'll be able to leave them in the comments below. And any questions I always answer in the comments. So yeah, with that said, hopefully I will have a video out tomorrow morning, and then another one Friday, another one Monday, and then I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another live stream. Okay, so with that said, thanks for stopping in, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.